I didn't eat lunch at work. I've been so busy this week, so I just ordered some chips, cheese, and gravy.
Nice.
Was
Oldie but a goodie.
Yeah, I was supposed to do tacos, but ended up taking like a 30-minute nap when I got home from work, and by the time I realised, I was like, "Nah, too long."
Too long. Fair enough. Welcome everybody. So we're just talking about dinner, just casually chatting about what Grog had for dinner. We could make a segment on that. Oh, I probably should have the microphone in front of me. How good am I going? Completely unorganised. Welcome everybody to our first live show for a game for 2025, which should be really, really interesting. Good to do a bit of a pre-season game, I guess. So, I mean, it's good, Grok, that I know we didn't have you on during the week because you had a bit on, but what were your thoughts on us bringing in a bit more of a full-strength side?
It's the way we've done it over the last sort of decade. I obviously play some of the younger, inexperienced kids first week, give a couple of the older blokes, that first week off, and then come in with a relatively strong 18 for the second round, and then you play your best 22. Obviously, come up with the first round. So, it doesn't surprise me that we've done it. The only disappointment for me was Jasper Alger. I would have liked him to at least stayed in the squad.
Yeah, I thought he might have got a game as well. I was kind of quietly confident he might have got a game, but the fact that we get to see Harry Armstrong and Luke Traynor is pretty exciting. So they are, two names to be keeping an eye out for. For those who are trying to see, I'm watching on Foxtel Watch now on the internet, so I can currently see. What are you on? You're on the same thing.
Yeah, I got Tim Membry on the screen.
Who have I got? I've got Perryman at the moment.
Yeah, that's just popped up.
Gone to the toss of the coin with Darcy Moore and Nane Curvis. So I'll announce when the ball's been bounced. People can try and sync up. But what are the expectations that everybody has got for tonight? I mean, is it just simply Grok just to see some better ball movement? I think that's, if you're looking at the different comments on socials, that seems to be the largest request.
Yeah, I just want to see some semblance of game plan, some defensive pressure. Obviously, that was really lacking last year for a lot, especially through the middle. And just some tackling pressure. I think they're the only things. And no I words.
No, I'll try not to do that, yes. Mark said that Uze mentioned Armstrong first half, Traynor and Sims second half. Okay, fair enough. And I suppose that's the beauty of having these extended interchange benches, is that you can mix and match and do whatever you've got to do. So RFC Centre just said that Uze said in his interview that we will see more aggressive fast ball movement, as we should, because like we all see the same training videos. All the training videos seem to suggest that it's quick play on ball movement and running in waves. Now, we probably saw that a little bit in the West Coast game, not very much. I mean, I'm not going to try and make that seem like we did it more often than we did, because it certainly wasn't very frequent. But it definitely felt like some of that play, especially in the second quarter, was by design. And I'll be shocked if we see that for 4 quarters today. I'll be alarmed, but shocked if we see that. I know margins don't matter, Grok, but if you had to pick a margin for this, what are you going with? As we see Ryan Mansell at full forward.
I hope we keep it within 4 or 5 goals. If we can do that, I think that's a positive for us.
The ball's just been bounced on my screen, and it was a bit of an ugly bounce, to be honest. Yeah, we can get it within 4 or 5 goals. I think that's a fair shout. That it would make it a bit more palatable, I suppose. But you just want to see some positive signs. Broad on Hill, not an ideal matchup, I wouldn't have thought, for Nathan Broad. Yeah, it would just be fascinating to see if the style of football does change, because that was the biggest thing that was noticeable for people watching the West Coast game. It wasn't a great look. As Nank very nicely floats back and takes a good grab there. I guess a lot of people are questioning, Grok, do we have the firepower to even kick a score? Not even just in this game, but for the season proper.
If we do, it's got to be obviously Lynch plays a key part in that. If Lynch is there, I think we'll be good enough to give it a shake. But if not, I think it's got sort of have to be some dirty ball inside, sort of like we did, early 2017 when we had those injuries and the smalls were coming. Just put it to grass. I think if we don't have the tools, just put it to grass and allow the defensive pressure to really lock the ball in and have repeat efforts.
Yeah, I'm all for the dirty ball as Jack Ross gives away a pretty blatant holding free on Dacos. That's the problem when someone like Dacos is playing in the forward 50 is that everyone panics. If you're on him, he's such a dangerous player at stoppage that you probably are inclined to hold on when you shouldn't have. And Jack Ross definitely held on for a little bit too long there. Dow on the wing, as RFC Centre mentioned, he was named to start on the wing. An interesting move.
Yeah, it's interesting. I would have thought he'd be in and around the ball, obviously, with our midfield today. You'd think he's one of the most experienced mid we have besides Jack Ross. So, yeah.
That was a disappointing bit of play. Bobby Hill's able to get on an easy lead up the corridor and Dacos spots him up. Things like that. And look, that's not unique to this year. If I'm being really honest, we've been shithouse at defending that for quite a few years for whatever reason. It's like players just switch off if they think someone's within range and going to have a shot instead of filling the hole correctly. But that's a bit of a mental lapse. Yeah, that's just an organisational piece, which is a little bit disappointing because our backline is probably our most consistent and experienced. So to have those lapses isn't great. And Bobby Hill does kick the first goal for the game for the Magpies. So we haven't seen too much possession ourselves just yet. But yeah, do we think there will be any other positional changes we'll see during the game? I feel like they'll throw a few magnets around. Trainer's actually the interesting one. Like I know he was an intercept defender in his draft year, but I kind of feel like he might be able to play on a wing.
Yeah, I reckon Trainer could go up forward in this match. Obviously, we haven't got the tall markers. Yeah, and who's he going to displace as a defender at the moment? Like potentially Broad. Maybe don't want to risk Broad copying anything. But yeah, Trainer's going to be the interesting one.
It's like we cannot put the game on the screen for copyright reasons. So unfortunately, that is not something we can do. I would dearly love to, but no can do on that front. Yeah, Dacos escaped there pretty easily, didn't he? A few people saying they wouldn't give Trainer a full game. I mean, I can see the logic in that. You don't want to burn him out, and that's why I suppose like Sammy Lawler in that West Coast game, being a bit of a shorter game, was okay, getting a bit more of a hit out. Be interesting to see if we can get our way out of here without giving away a free kick. Or a good tackle by Mychek there. Nice pick up by Nank. These are the stoppages we've got to get better at, aren't they? Just being able to get it out. Yeah. And I suppose it's typically a dump kick, isn't it? Like we can't be too critical of that, I guess. It's not that uncommon AFL wide. Nank probably lucky not to give away a free kick there for arm over the shoulder. Who's flying? Who's killing it? Oh, that's shit. Jeez, that was a relatively easy, almost uncontested mark there for Mychek. I'm not sure what Ben Miller was doing. He circled and then didn't go for it.
Yeah, that's where Miller needs to be better.
Like Blight was trailing in, and then he was in the spot to do it, and then he zoned off to man up Isaac McStay, number 11.
Yeah.
He needed to just kill the contest there. And Blight probably should have laid a bit better body on him as well. That is a goal as easy as you like for Mychek. Yeah, that was look. That is a poor bit of play from Ben Miller. Not going to lie, and again, that's a communication thing, isn't it? Really.
Look at just there from the contest. A lot of the midfielders are just stagnant. They just stood there, no chasing. Nothing. They just stood there and allowed Collingwood the ball.
Yeah, it's like why? How does no one kill that contest? I don't understand that. Well, we haven't got the ball past the halfway point yet, so hopefully we can turn that around fairly quickly. Yeah, Blight and Miller both lost body contact. Yeah, they definitely did. And we'll cause the secondary stoppage, so that's somewhat of a win. Sonji's pushed up into there. Ross, Nank belts it out wide. Don't mind the old-fashioned just punch it to space. That has to be deliberate.
That's got to be deliberate.
It can't not be. Yeah.
Oh, good.
I mean, I don't know if it was his pure intent, but it definitely, every day of the week, that's paid deliberate. Good to see Tom Brown back out there as well. After having a bit of a interrupted pre-season with the shoulder surgery. Oh, good trap. Oh, Jesus. That's not bad movement. Oh, Hopper's just got himself into trouble here. Short, just roosting it inside 50. Mantle flies. I mean, oh, good chase from Mansell there. That was nice. Who's picked that up? Is that Trezise? Trezise kicks it behind. Up the ground a bit more. Good forward pressure there from Mansell.
Oh. Actually, I don't mind that. As I think the last time I was on the podcast, I mentioned that Trezise, if he's going to make it without depth, probably as a half forward, as a third tall.
That wasn't bad seeing him up there. And Mansell's pressure across the face of goal was pretty good too. Dow flies. See, that's better. Dow at least flying across the pack there causes the spillage, and it gives ourselves half a chance. So at least someone went. He's probably the smallest bloke down there too. So maybe it's Trezise up on the wing. Like the game last week against West Coast, how did you feel after his game versus, say, Caleb Smith, who were kind of competing for that same half-back role?
I think they're a little different. Trezise plays a bit taller. I think personally, I probably would have had Smith over it, but I can sort of see why they've gone Trezise, given that he's a bit more flexible.
Yeah. Is that something? Collingwood just snapped a goal there out of nowhere. I mean, that's just a little bit unlucky, that goal. It's taken a nice little deflection, and he's gotten on the end of it.
Membry.
I wasn't Membry, was it? Danagi says, "Hey boys, Hopper's disposal is too slow." I mean, look, it's only been one passage of play, I suppose, he's been involved in, but we were kind of on the break. He was progressing forward, and then I don't know whether there was no options further ahead or what there might have been, but he did kind of stall and run himself into trouble a little bit there. Helen says, we're not looking good. Awful defending transition from teams just waltzing through. Horrible bounce from the umpire. So they've still got Dow on the wing. Is that K-Mac in the middle?
Oh.
I wonder if that's going to happen during the year. Blight takes a much better mark down back. Oh, geez. Those kicks, though, Grok, that's what makes us nervous.
Yeah, absolutely. Those short 15, 20-metre ones, like Noah Bolter, his history with those.
Oh.
Like...
You would much rather see him just put it 70 metres down the line, even if the opposition still mark it. That's still a better option than him biting off a 25-metre diagonal kick, I reckon. Jack Ross in the middle of the ground said, that's better movement. I'm not sure that he's running past. Nank putting it inside 50. Oh, Bauer drifts across on Darcy Moore and takes a nice grab. That's what we didn't see last week. That is a very strong mark against a very good opponent. That ball movement, though, Grok, it's getting that kick in quickly from that area Nank had it. We say it all the time that if the longer you hold it up, like you could still see Collingwood players were trailing in there because they didn't have time to go and set up. If Nank goes back and takes his time there's an extra 5 Collingwood players in our back 50, and it probably ends up being congested, spoiled, and out it comes.
Absolutely, especially with, all the personnel that we've got missing. given that we're probably going to go with a short forward line. We can't afford to be wasting time, allowing opposition to flood back and defend and clog up, the space in the forward line.
Yeah, exactly right. It's just get it in there quick, give ourselves a chance. As Jacob Bauer kicks his first of the evening, very good goal. Nice inboard kick there from Camden McIntosh as well to Jack Ross. Handball off to Vlosten. The Pies actually probably cut it off reasonably well, but luckily Nate was there as a bit of an outlet pass, and Bauer does the rest. Very nice grab. But to your point, yeah, moving that ball quickly from 80 meters onwards from goal is pivotal. When we don't have a very good forward line, unfortunately. Even if Lynch is there, you'd still rather get it in there quick to 3 1-on-1 contests. And if you lose it, you lose it. But yeah, don't let people flood back.
And that 45 inboard kick is something that Uze's mentioned that we've been practicing a lot since he's arrived. So hopefully, tonight, obviously that we've seen it now. Hopefully that's more indicative going forward. We see a lot more of it.
Exactly. And I suppose a lot of us were screaming for it last year, weren't we? But they just didn't quite have the skill set or the confidence to execute it as Samson Ryan gets a free kick from the middle. We actually got a nice tap there. We're probably away if they paid advantage. Oh. It's also been noted that McIntosh is not wearing a headband tonight. No headband. I did like the headband look from K-Mac last week.
To be fair, it's a lot cooler today. It's cooler now than it would have been in WA.
True. Banks playing, he was named at centre-half back. It was an interesting, I know what's on the paper isn't always what eventuates, as we saw with Shane Edwards being named centre-half forward for 8 years. But it kind of seems like he is playing a bit more deeper in the defensive role, which is interesting. Good tackle. This is where we're going to try and get ourselves out of trouble. There you go.
Yeah,
Jaden Short bailout kick. You don't mind that because it gets it out of trouble. Who was that? I can't see. My screen's zoomed out way too much. That was good though. Was that Steely Green? Steely. That dump kick though by Short, you don't mind him playing that quarterback role. Like, even though that hasn't hit a Richmond chest, you kind of just take those.
Yeah. The one thing that I don't like with the dump kick is he doesn't look when he does it, though. He doesn't assess the options. It's just a straight dump kick, and quite often it's a direct turnover.
Yeah. Harry Armstrong rucking in the forward line. Just so people know, I've got 12 minutes on the clock left in the first quarter, just so people, if they're trying to sync up or whatnot, 12 minutes. Interesting they've let Harry Armstrong do the rucking deep in the forward line. Good pressure.
He's a big unit already.
He is a big unit. I was actually listening to Triple M on the way home, and they had Nathan Broad on, and he was mentioning that Harry Armstrong, for a first-year player, actually really likes the body-on-body physicality, which is quite unusual for first-year players that are forwards. Usually they like to create space and have their own kind of area. So I thought that was interesting from Nathan Broad as we get a rush behind there. It feels like we've maybe settled a little bit into it. Suppose it's still just to be seen. Yeah, we're just going to make sure that we keep standing up strong in the back half. It does feel like we've settled, Mark. I agree. Oh, good spoil there from Samson Ryan. That was nice. Ryan.
That's one thing that I did like. We forced them to go long. We didn't allow that short possession chain up the wing.
Yeah, I'm trying that. I got the passion fruit one from that 10-pack that.
Oh, the Brookvale.
Warren got. Yeah. The peach. I agree with you. The peach iced tea one wasn't the best. But yeah, the passion fruit's not too bad.
The passion fruit's really good.
It is like that. Is it what's that Passion or whatever that Kirk's? Yeah. Was it Kirk's?
Pasito.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is where we've got to try and work it out. Miller's led to the ball there. That was all right if he's hit a target. Timmy Taranto, very nice. Wonder what we're going to do with time management for players like Taranto and Hopper. Good tackle, Hopper. Not sure what he's asking for holding the ball for, but see, Ryan getting knocked off those ones, like you'd love to see him just stand his ground a bit firmer, wouldn't you? But I mean, rucks are rucks. Like they're all big brutes. Jaden Short, that's a good little handball back there. Steely, good mark inside 50.
And he was involved in the midfield. He was the one that originally got the handball out of the contest. So
that's Sonzy passed.
Effort for reward for effort there.
But even just the awareness to, it was a Sonzy pass inside 50. That's good from Sonzy. That's what you want to see, hitting those targets. But that backwards handball to Short, how much that frees the game up rather than a blind handball forward, because he can kick at 65. So Steely Green comes in. Oh, he's put that left. Hit the chair, though. That's unlucky. At least we're getting some forward entries, though.
Yeah.
Hey, Sarjo, how are you, mates? What's going on? Loving this is in the game, us or both. Hopefully people are enjoying it. It's just a bit of a different take on the game, I guess. Oh, that's a good mark from McStay. Jesus, That was very strong. You in an Avery there, Grok?
Pardon?
You're in an Avery.
I've got the window open. It's still a little warm in the concrete house.
Is it early morning wake up from the birds?
Sometimes I've got a big gum tree in the front yard, so I've got the grass parrots and everything.
Oh yeah.
That's ball movement.
That was very good ball movement from a good running side. Unfortunately, we obviously had that front half turnover of our own, but couldn't capitalise, which was a bit disappointing. Oh, he's handballed it off. Dan Houston. He's going to be a good pickup for him.
Yeah.
And if you're an opposition team, you've got to be awake to that. Exactly like what we do with Jaden Short. Just have him, run around the outside. But that one here, so Rioli's just, unfortunately fed that straight to Dacos trying to hit Jack Ross. And it's just gone coast to coast.
At that point, handballing inboard from there is not the right thing to do. At that point, you're better off just taking the tackle and forcing another contest.
Yeah. And look, maybe in Rioli's defence, Ross was probably open for the half a second he saw it, but Dacos is a very good reader of the ball and very quick. By the time he executed it, it was gone. But it's a learning thing, and that's what these games are about. Dacos is a jet. You can't help but like watching him play. This is the stuff we've got to stop, though. That's a very, very easy clearance and 450 entry. Great spoil, though, by Miller. Oh, they've got an easy Joe the Goose out the back here.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't like, where you get so many sucked up to the contest.
Everyone just swarmed in. That just come down from a really easy centre clearance. Dacos wraps around. They've got runners coming off in all directions. And then from there, it's a very easy 450 entry. Geez, who was on Membry? Someone's just been caught ball watching there. That's it, Jones Racing. You hit the nail on the head there. They're just very much more efficient at the moment with what they're doing.
Yeah, it was Blight. Blight got sucked up into the contest.
Okay. And it's hard, as frustrating it is because it results in a goal. He's also very, very young as well, isn't he? And I know he's a mature age player, but young in an AFL system sense. Trezise, this is where we've got to get ourselves out of trouble here. Give him some options, boys. The end result's a dump kick. Morris, can you get a free kick there?
Yeah, got pushed.
I will never, ever understand why, and we do it as well, how teams give up a free kick in a 3-on-1. They just panic. Oh, Samson. Oh, he's just spilled the beans. Nank tries the shimmy. Not sure Samson had it there, but anyway. Oh, it's popped out the back. Oh, hit the post.
That was better from Sampson, though. Actually stood his ground and competed.
Yeah, didn't mark it, but brought it to ground and gave us another chance to have another go at it. Oh, Jesus, that's really unlucky too. Oh, it's him in the head.
Well done, Brody.
You can rush it there, fellas. You are allowed to rush it. Spot on, Declan. The Pies pressure is very good. They're good. So I know they didn't have a great finish to the year last year, but easy kick that. Jeez.
Yep.
See, they're shit goals to give away. Top of the goal square in a ruck contest, and we've let a ruckman essentially grab out the ruck and just
together the crumb and snap,
under no real pressure. Yeah, that's poor defending.
Yeah,
that's a good goal to be fair as well. Yeah. Look, we've already got another one of those nights where the opposition doesn't miss. Dacos has had 10 touches. Now would be a good time to test out K-Mac as a tagger, RFC Centre. Why not? If you're going to try stuff. I mean, opposition mids are going to be a big focal point for us this year. I don't think any longer we can back ourselves into go head-to-head. I do think we need a shutdown element to our game. Side bottom, dropping the ball, surely. Great tackle, Nank. Led the way for tackles for us last year. Jacob Hopper, do something constructive. Kicks to a 2-on-1.
It was a bit of a nothing kick from Hopper there.
He almost needed to kick it before he sidestepped to pull it 5 meters shorter.
Just seems
he's
like
trying to make a contest RFC. He's got 2 players on him, though. Not a bad spoil for Miller. Yeah, if Hopper kicks that half a second earlier, it probably lands in more of a hot spot.
It just felt like he was in two minds. After he took the thing, his eyes lit up and was like, I'm a chance at goal here. And then he saw Ryan and it's like, it was neither.
Ends up in no man's land, doesn't it? Oh, Blast kicked out straight to a Collingwood defender there. He's played on, though. Go, Morris. Come on. Pick that up. Good boy. Mansell. Got to make it count here. Oh, God. Oh, has he kicked it? Oh, touch, Darcy Moore. Jeez, it's not a bad effort. I thought he almost got that one through. See, no one going up for that. I know we've ended up with a footy here, but no one going up in that contest on the wings a little bit. Not great either. Good tackle. Dow. Nice releasing handball to K-Mac. Oh, sell some candy. Oh, God. Shorty. Nah, missed. We've definitely got some chances here, don't we?
That's one that you'd normally back short to nail.
Agree. Just didn't seem to hit it very flush. Mortal Wombat, that's a great username. We're matching them from scoring shots. Hit a few of those near misses. We have a contest. Fair call. Well, in fact, we've had more scoring shots. It's a good point. Kano, don't think we're playing that bad.
I don't think we are. It's just we're lacking some polish.
Well done, K-Max. See, I like that. He knew he was
Yeah,
never going to get that ball and just professionally bundled it out.
That's the biggest thing. They've been so much cleaner than us, but we're still getting shots.
We're just dead eye. Oh, good tackle from Dow. Not sure how that came out, but Shorty lowered the eyes in for the switch kick. Sonzi. Good kick, Sonzi. Well done.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well done, Mansell. I reckon he pulled that at the last second because there was a leading player up the middle, had a player on him, and he saw Mansell out wide. That was a lovely, lovely decision there. I mean, I know we've only got 4 minutes left in the first quarter, but I would safely say that I think we're playing a completely different brand of football to what we were last week. And whether that's because we've got more experience in, or I'm not sure what it is, but it's definitely looking and feeling a little bit different. As Mansell runs around, and we've missed again. Jesus, we are hurting ourselves here. Is there a strong breeze out at Icon Park? What is happening? Oh, he's dropped an absolute sitter there. Samson Ryan. Clean. Oh, it's a bad handball, though. That is a very costly missed handball when the Pies start rebounding like that. Wouldn't mind someone just standing on Nick Dacos. Not literally, but show him some attention. Got to kill this one. Well done, Vlosten.
And that's something we didn't see a lot of last year either from Vlosten, was the intercepting.
Yep. Gee, that's a dangerous kick. Tom Brown almost dragged it in.
I thought that should have been a mark.
Yeah, it was pretty close. We've got it back, though. Campbell with some overlap run to Sonzi on the wing. Inboard kick coming. That's what we like. Go, go, go. Go.
Keep going.
You've still got plays. Go.
Yeah.
Bear was almost being killed by Samson Ryan. He was trying to get to the contest. Got to pressure him now. Got to pressure him. No easy exits. That's right. Dump kick up the line. Good spoil. What are we thinking of Sonzi on the wing so far?
He's had a few nice moments.
Oh, sorry, Marley.
If he can get more of the ball and use it like he has been today.
Because I know he doesn't get it a lot, but he typically makes pretty good decisions when he gets it, though, doesn't he? So you do want to see more ball in hand. As we've got another inside 50 here. Timmy Taranto flicks it over. Mansell spent it before he had it. Goes again. Oh, God. He would have been better off just going out of bounds there. Oh, no. Turnover complete. Nathan Broad. Get it back in there quickly. Don't let him set up. Mortal Kombat asks, if Sonzi's on a wing, where does that leave Camden McIntosh? What do you reckon?
If they're playing him as that midfielder.
Yeah. Yeah, playing as a defensive midfielder potentially who rotates. See, the thing with Camden, though, is he can actually still play half-back as well. He's played there a little bit throughout his career. He plays on the wing.
15 inside 50s to 10. We're in front. That's a positive to take out of the first quarter.
100%. With a minute to go, we've just been extremely inaccurate. As Nate probably should have had a free there for too high.
Yeah.
Nice by Campbell. Banks lowered the eyes a little bit there. Oh, Bauer just misread it. He's probably holding the ball there, I reckon. Yep. Unlucky. right idea to try and get through that. I don't mind that, but
No, because if he breaks through that, he's clear on goal.
that's right. It was just that initial ball into Bow just needed to be about 2 meters shorter, and it would have hit him. Can't buy a 450 mark. Not enough polished Declan. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm with the RFC. Like, I don't mind that intent. That's a shove, surely. I don't mind that intent from Steely Green. You'd rather see him have a crack at doing that because of it. There's not really another viable option unless there's someone clearly by himself for a handball. You don't mind seeing that.
Again, this swallowed the whistle for some pretty blatant free kicks. The Nank one, the Nank high, that push just there.
We've got 17 seconds. Don't want to concede one here. I know we are the red time conceding specialists. Nice kick from Shaw. Oh, Jesus. Was that Bauer flying high? Gives away a push. Not sure what you're appealing for there, Bauer. He's at a dip, though. Well, that is quarter time. Comes to an end. Collingwood 6 straight 36 to Richmond 1-7-13 after the first quarter. Bit of an iffy start, I think it's fair to say. We were probably under the pump a little bit early. I looked a bit out of sorts, and the Pies were clearly on top of us. But to the Richmond players' credit, they settled themselves and started to get back into it.
Yeah, well, you look at the Pies, 6 goals, but 4 of those came in bursts. They scored 2 goals really quickly in two passages throughout the quarter. So if you take out those 2 really quick back-to-back goals, they've essentially only scored 2 goals where we've actually been putting the pressure on and everything. So that again, that's a positive where it shows that when we're up and we're putting the pressure on, even a side that's probably 90% full strength in Collingwood are struggling to score. So again, there's a lot to take out of that first quarter.
And at least 2 of those goals were from very much our own either non-communication or very bad mistakes. So they're things that you can work on and fix as well, which is a good thing.
100%.
Like, I think it'd be more alarming if all 6 goals were from blistering turnovers from half-back to leading forwards that we just couldn't touch the ball. But the other good thing is that they didn't get a big run on. You know how last year we would typically see teams go on like a 4 or 5 goal in consecutive streak, kind of from the get-go as well, which was a bit frustrating. So we didn't really see that, and we were able to move the ball okay ourselves, but just not able to convert. 1 goal, 7. It feels like the story of our life. But I think one of the more impressive plays for that quarter was maybe Tyler Sonsie on the wing. I thought he had some pretty good decisions, some good passes that set up some chances at goal.
Yeah. And definitely his foot skills really stood out. Bit off that 45 kick that led to the goal, and obviously that brilliant pass to Mansell. So I think Sonsie's biggest issue is, for me, that he doesn't like contact. Like, if it's a contested game where he's being pressured, he's completely ineffective. But where he's got actual time and space, he's really, really good.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, he's a very good ball user as well. Don't argue. This is a good point as well. And Jaden Short on track for 1,420 metres gained. Shorty evolved. I think that's a very good point. I mean, 2024 we know was a really, really bad year for Jaden Short, and the club is in its entirety, I guess. But the Short of 2020 to 2023 was, I feel like he was almost averaging close to 650 to 800 metres gained a game a lot of the times, Croc. He was putting out some seriously good numbers. So seeing him go back to more of that traditional quarterback role seems to be playing into his favour a little bit. Yep,
absolutely. And I think having defensive pressure from the midfield helps him a little bit when the ball's just constantly coming back. And then you've got, the opposition running at you with the dump kicks. He's not going to be being able to utilise his strengths. Whereas once the pressure was on, he was able to utilise everything, his kicking and breaking lines. The other player I want to give a shout out to is K-Mac. Once he went into the middle, the pressure really stepped up for us, and he was able to really stop them getting those quick, easy transitions out of the midfield.
And it's something that we had noticed from the training videos, that he was doing some defensive midfield work. And I suppose the question was always, was it just as an additional number for the sake of a training drill, or was there a bit more to it? But I feel like Camden's the kind of player that knows and understands how to sacrifice his own game for the betterment of the team and can defend really well It can be a little bit of a difficult matchup himself the other way. So I'm all for seeing that. And I think him playing there does allow someone like a Sonzi to spend more time on the wing, or it might be a Seth Campbell or a Sam Banks, whoever it might be. So we're kind of getting the best of both worlds. We're getting that handing over the baton for the wing position, but we've also got a bit more of a defensive midfielder to throw into the mix as well.
Absolutely. And K-Max, probably for me, besides Prestia, our best two-way runner and best two-way player. He's really good going back defensively, but he's also really good going forward, often pops up in the forward line, kicks his goals. So, yeah, for him to be able to step into the midfield role and offer us something through clearances, or even just providing that brick wall oppositions run into so they don't get the clearance out the back of the contest, yeah, it's going to really straighten us up a little bit.
Definitely will. And then we've also got the addition of Tom Lynch to come back into this lineup as well, which straightens up the forward line again and gives us a bit more of a better target to aim at, although Bauer seems to be doing not so bad so far. He's gone for Mark of the Year a couple of times, but yeah, you can't underestimate the importance of Lynch. But Harry Armstrong as well, Grock, I thought he showed some good competitive signs early. I know it was minimal impact that he had, but he was liking the physicality, did a couple of the ruck contests and wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty.
Absolutely. He's competing really, really well. Obviously, still getting the timing right on his leads and his jumps. But again, like if he's shown that he reminds me of the way that Lafau came in at the start of last year. Like just the timing was a little bit off, but you could see that he was an actual threat in the air. Hopefully after he gets 4 or 5 games at AFL level to really understand everything, hopefully he'll be a solid player. I'm just going to quickly switch the PowerPoint on. I just realised my laptop charger's not turned on.
Oh, I've done that a few times. James Racing says, inside 50s, 15-10 to us. You'd love to see it. Like, I know the scoreline doesn't reflect, a lead or anything like that. But like we said, the scoreline's largely irrelevant. It's all about intent and ball movement and purpose. So the fact that we're able to even be ahead of the inside 50 count, I think is a big step forward from last week against West Coast. I think it's fair to say that we're moving the ball in a much better manner so far than what we did against the Eagles too, which we all thought was going to happen. Like, I never for once thought we were going to play this game like we played the second quarter against the Eagles. So, yeah, good to see us moving the ball a little bit more quicker.
That's surely got to be a joke, Flanklin. I don't know if Lynch can break into this side.
Oh, he can definitely break in. He is arguably our most important player for the year. Not that you want to, Marley, calm down. Not that you want to put a lot of pressure on the bloke, but he is super important as the second quarter is about to start. I'll give a countdown for the ball being bounced or thrown, whatever they're doing. It is going down in 3, 2, 1, bounce. Quarter is underway. Who have we got in the middle?
Taranto.
Hopper, Taranto, Prestia. Not Prestia.
Yeah, Hopper, Taranto, and McIntosh.
It was McIntosh, wasn't it? It was the third, yeah.
Yeah, that you can't miss that Chrome Dome.
A couple of repeat stoppages isn't the worst thing. Better than them busting away with it. They've got such a good midfield mix of the Pies, don't they? It's a little bit annoying.
Looks like Campbell's in there too.
And this is why, it's good that the Pies are going at pretty much 95% strength, because it does give us a bit more of a better visual on how to operate. As we win a free kick, Cam then gets the backward handball from Nank, puts it inside 50. Oh, geez, that was, I don't know what that was. Was a throw at a handball? Good save. That's dropping the ball, surely. How has he gotten rid of that from that Jack Ross tackle? Rossi's laid a brilliant tackle. No kick, no handball. And Sonzi will get pinned for that. You watch. Oh, my gosh.
That was the most blatant, incorrect disposal you will ever see.
He tried to get through the tackle and didn't do any of the legal disposals.
That has to be ball. Once you take the tackler on, you forfeited your no prior opportunity.
Bauer was doing the ruck duties there. I'm not sure I like that. Great pressure from Morris there. Good chase. Oh, unlucky. The ball just bounced straight into his lap, though. Pies have just springboarded here. Good tackle, good chase from K-Mac, but they had players loose. Horrible kick from Jamie Elliott. Geez, we got let off the chain a bit there. Yep. Realistically, though, we should be having a shot down the other end.
100%. And that's where people say free kicks don't matter, but free kicks that you don't get paid matter as well. Instead of having a scoring shot, that could potentially have gone down for, 6 points. That's a 12-point swing.
Well, Trezai's doing some stoppage work there. Very nice. Oh, that's a bit of it's a nothing kick, but it might work out okay. Seth Campbell, good pickup. Good handball on the inside to Shorty. Great kick over the top. Was that Steely? Lobs it over the top to Bauer. Good transition football there. That was nice.
That's great movement.
Look, it was a little bit lucky because the kick out from Blight deep in the back 50 probably should have been marked by the Collingwood player, but it was probably just a little bit over his head. But we cleaned up on the crumbs. Good little inside handball there from Seth Campbell to Shorty. He lowered the eyes and away we went.
I suppose that makes up for that dodgy bounce from the MRJ pressure on Quainer in the forward back 50.
Bauer strolls in. Has he kicked it? Yeah, it looks like he's got it. Bauer, that's his second. Very good. Much better than what he was doing last week. And it's so hard. That's probably a really harsh comment from me because last week, with all the inexperience and stuff, we were pretty much no chance to get proper delivery to our forwards. We weren't really setting ourselves up to score in that game in a lot of ways. That pickup from Seth Campbell and release handball, very nice.
One motion.
And Steely, yeah, that was clean. And even Steely Green, the vision, a lot of players would try and either kick that themselves or just bomb it to the square to actually compose himself and look to where the loose player was and kick it into the space available was really, really good. Good to see everyone in chat loving that too. Awesome. Shorty low in the eyes. Campbell pickup was fire. Transition was great. Bauer a lock for round 1, says Kane. Oh, Dacos, he's everywhere. Someone tackle him. Oh, Trezai sweeping up. Not bad. Oh, let's see how the kick. Oh, gee, I didn't see that player there. I thought he completely missed Sam Banks then, but that's not what will we do here. Yeah, okay. I see Camden. Now you've got to pull the trigger though.
Yep, there we go. The 45 switch.
Lost him with the inside 50 entry. Oh, it's just over Green's head there. Armstrong, is that almost holding the ball? Oh, that's awfully close. He saved by the line there.
That should be ball. He had a chance to have a kick, or give the handball off. Yeah. He took the tackle and then went back over the line. That has to be ball. They've been pretty lenient.
That's a great tackle again by Armstrong. Jeez, look, the only downside with not having like a Samson Ryan or even a Tom Lynch, for example, out there is I sometimes feel like we get a little bit undersized in the ruck in the forward 50 if Nank's not down there. But it's only a practice game and Harry Armstrong's getting some seriously good exposure at having a crack at it. Oh, is that not a free kick to Vlosten? No? Okay.
How? Again, Pie's getting away with everything so far.
So now we've got to get numbers back that they've slowed it up. No, yes, Taranto is playing. Yep, he's playing. We're just not sure what the managing of minutes is like because it's an 8-man bench and it's unlimited interchange. So you might see plays off and on a lot more than usual because there's no cap on interchange. So that's why they may disappear for a little bit. Definitely, Declan, definitely better start that quarter. Let go of him. I reckon the last 3 defensive 50 stoppages, Trezai's has exited with the ball or been a part of exiting the ball. Which is, it's good. It's showing he's getting into the right spots. Again, it was probably something we didn't see him doing much of last week. So I don't mind it. Oh, another free kick. We're getting him in the wrong spots, though. There's Timmy Taranto for you.
It's the soft frees that we're getting, not the blatant ones.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I didn't know what that one was for. Morris on Darcy Moore, not a great matchup for us, must be said. We've got to get back and kill that. Yeah, not bad. That's good. That's good.
Yep, get it through. Be back in a sec.
Yeah, all good. Yeah, we probably should have kicked that ball anywhere other than to where Darcy Moore was, especially with him being on Morris Jr. Not exactly the best matchup. Now, let's see what we do from kickouts here. Oh, we're not going to the pocket. Or are we? No. Jesus, clean kick out. And Samson Ryan's marked it. All our Christmases have come at once, folks. We've seen a non-chip into the back pocket and a Samson Ryan mark in the one bit of play. You can't tell me it's not a new Richmond. And then Hopper does that. So maybe it's the old Richmond. I'm not sure. Good kick from Shorty. Not bad. Get the handball. Oh, you got to hold those, Nank. That's probably going to be holding the ball. Oh, too high. Not overly sure on that, but we'll take it. We'll take it. That's a shame, though, because if he held that mark, Hopper was on for the handball, and then that's an easy inside 50 at pace. And now we're kicking to bad spots. Has Bowers earned himself a free kick? No. Oh, Collingwood's got a free kick. Right. Not sure. They must have been from someone else in the pack holding or pushing or doing something they shouldn't have been. Camden running with Dacos now. That's good. You want to give him roles like that. Set him with a task. Oh gosh. That's unlucky from Boston. Don't waste all of our free kicks in pre-season. Fair call, Franklin. Fair call. Oh, you got to be awake to that, boys. Yeah, that's pretty bad defending at the top of the 50. I think it was Thompson Dow. I'm not sure who else was next to him, but you can't just be switching off and looking at the umpire.
I heard we got some Jones, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, you missed it as well. We kicked out long from the point, and Samson Ryan marked it.
Was it to the wing?
It was straight to the wing. Voston played on it. We didn't even go to the pocket first. We just bypassed the pocket and went straight to the wing. That was poor manning up, though, or poor awareness at the top of the 50 there.
Poor awareness of who the player was, too. It was Dacos. If he gets a side, he's always taking that shot.
Got to stay switched on there. Definitely a brain fade there, Scott. Agree. So I suppose the big thing we're to do is try and find a way to slow down opposition teams' transition against us. That's what's killing us at the moment. As Jack Ross, it just gets through. Great handball over the top, almost a throw. Sonzi flicks it out to Nankervis, who's missed. Good little handball there initially from Steely Green to flick that one over his head.
No, bad call, Danny. K-Mac is one of the better players out there today with his defensive pressure.
Yeah, agree, Grok. I think people are still, after all these years, underrating K-Mac and his importance to the side. You can't just throw all the young kids in there, but no doubt. Oh, as Mansell takes a nice little ride and mark. No doubt when the players like Lawler and Smiley and things like that are available, they'll get their time. But you still need to have a defensive element as well. So, and that's what Camden brings to the game and to our side. He sacrifices his game He's now doing a run with role on Nick Dacos that you probably wouldn't want to be giving to the young kids at this stage.
He's taking over Koch's role as that sacrificial, team-oriented player.
Great mark from Mansell. We need to convert here, though. Got to get some reward for effort. Not a fan of that Carlton logo on the board either, just quietly. As Mansell goes back and puts through a goal. Well done, Ryan Mansell. Good mark. Davey Roden loves it. Look at him. Former Richmond champion. Much better play, though. Got it in there quickly. And, even if Mansell drops that, at least he's hit the contest hard. And it would have spilt out. But that's eyes on the ball. Great jump. Steely Green did well to keep his player grounded there so we could have a run and jump at it. Very nice.
Was that it over Houston too?
It might have been. Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nice.
Jeremy Howe trailing in. Definitely a lot more competitive, definitely. Oh, yeah, leading goal kickers. Jesus, we definitely need some goal kickers to step up.
Yeah.
Oh, God, Ross. Ross has had a couple of good touches in the last centre bounces. I think last week was I thought it was a bit of a flat game from Ross against West Coast, but I always felt like he would play better when he's got a bit more experience around him. Oh, he's taken on Steele sideline with a cheeky sidestep. Inside 50. Oh, so you've got to hold them, Samson. That was almost an uncontested marking opportunity. Whistle's gone, yeah. I think we got dumped after we kicked it. Not sure who it was, though.
Is that Dow?
He's not making the distance, so if Jaden Shaw could just kindly run around for a handball.
Tommy Brown's lurking.
Tommy Brown, he can do that as well. Surely Dow's not got this distance. This would be a super kick if he can make this. No, that's falling well short. Oh, Jesus, but who was that? Was that a point or did it hit the post? That was a point. Geez, 3 goals, 9, though. Really good mark there. Trezise has had a really nice game so far. We are just kicking ourselves out of it. Another inside 50 from short. Who's going to make a contest? Nice from Armstrong. Good pressure. Yeah, nice Rossi. Very good. Mansell's preseason form flowing into this game. Tiger Seaves, good call. I think that's a very good call. Josh, yes, we're pretty happy with Sonzi so far. He's been doing some nice things, which is good because we're looking for him to show some signs like that. This man as well, Trezise, has had, I know the handball was turned over, but good. Oh, Brownie almost had him. Nice coverage there from Blight.
Blighty looks a lot slimmer than he did when he first joined.
Yeah. Well, he was looking like a unit when he come back this preseason. And it sounds like he'd done a heap of work on his running capacity as well, as per the 2K time trial win. Harry Armstrong flies.
I'm pretty sure that's been the focus of Benny Circle, is slimming players down so they're not carrying as much muscle mass that lighten the load with their mechanics and running styles.
Bit less stress on the body.
Yeah.
Good spoil from Blight. Oh, Dow just throwing himself in there. That's what you want to see. Nice. He hasn't really got it there, umpire. Okay. They're rebounding pretty quick though, aren't they, Collingwood? As we've got 8 minutes 45 to go. And to Mark's point, more the Richmond, we remember having a crack. Light looks great. But just on the having a crack part, I don't like. Even if we lost,
well done,
almost
Dow.
that was good, and I think Samson Ryan for the earliest spoil. Even if we were to lose 20 games this year, if we had a crack in every single one of them, and you could see the players were busting their ass for 4 quarters, crashing into contests and doing all that, I don't think people would mind too much because there's an element of we know it's a developmental year. We're going to be gradually getting better. But it's when people don't try and don't put in effort is when there's an issue, which is what there seemed to be last year. As we've given away a real shit free kick in the top of the goal square there.
Blight.
Oh, he's thrown the head back. Jeez. He has flung the head back and then flopped to the ground in a tussle. That's a soft one. I'm prepared to say that is a soft free kick. And I reckon you can almost categorically say that if Bauer did that down the other end, play on.
Nothing to see.
Jeez, not sure about that. I know Blight doesn't know. Wow. Marginal. Well, as long as they pay him both ways. 7 minutes 42 to go in the second. I don't want to go the early crow with this, but there hasn't been that run-on of goals again that we've been typically prone to conceding in years gone by, or last year in particular. Good tackle from Nank and Ross.
They called it a throw, did they?
And 50. Geez, I'm not sure he threw that. I actually thought he handballed it, to be fair. I'm sure they'll show a replay.
Yeah. Rossi.
Because, like, Steely Green did one similar. I know he wasn't being tackled, but maybe that's the thing. If you're tackled and you do it over your head, is it classed a throw? I'm not sure. I thought he got a handball, but we'll take a free kick in 50, though. Don't get me wrong. Come on, Jack. He's really looking to cement himself for round one. He's got it. Jackie Ross on the board. Very good.
Him and Trezise, I reckon, have probably been our two best. Macca third.
Especially this quarter, Trezise in particular. And Ross, like I said, the last few centre bounces, when it's kind of gone our way, it's been on the back of him getting into the right spots. Are we all but sold that Ross is an inside mid? I think the wing experiment's kind of done. And that's why, as much as the seeing Dow named on the wing was a bit of a shock, if you're having to pick what way it works, you would rather Dow on the wing and Ross on the inside than the other way around.
100%. I mean, you look at when Ross first came in as the inside mid when both Graham and Koch were injured. He was averaging, 23, 24 possessions and 4 or 5 clearances and a few tackles. Like, that's what he's capable of.
Yeah. And he's only getting more confidence from feeling like he belongs as well.
100%.
Unlucky there from Nankervis. Penalty read that well. Oh, Mansell, good chase. Jesus, they've just... Wow. Their counter football ability is unbelievable. And this is where sometimes I wonder, like, what our correct midfield mix is. Like, are we short on pace in there?
But, I'd be interested to see how many steps Dacos took. Is it about?
It's close.
That's more than 15 meters.
They just got that one back far too easily. And even though Pendles hasn't got good foot speed, he's got smart running ability. Look, unfortunately, if Nank's handball has had to come off and hit Camden McIntosh, we're on our way toward an inside 50. But such is the strength of the Collingwood midfield. They cause the turnover and they make you pay. That's what the good sides do, as the old cliche goes. Although we get a turn here. Shorty
That's a
flying
nice
in off the back of the square. That's a great handball from Timmy T. Oh, Armstrong. You'd love to see him clunk one of these. See, that coming out of our back line, that happened way too easily then. I don't like that whatsoever. I mean, we kind of held him up there on the wing. Oh, that's a good mark from Hoskin Elliott.
Yeah, that's a bit soft from Loston there.
But just how easy they were able to rebound that from defensive 50 when the ball hit the deck. We need to get better there.
It seems to me watching this where acknowledging that we don't have the marking target, so it's likely to come back out. So keeping players back to force them long down the line, which is allowing them to transition out of the 50 a little bit easier.
Not a bad mark from Jacob Light there, deep in the defensive 50 as well. Five minutes 47 to go. So we're leading the clearances 9-4. That in itself is a huge positive, really. We might get another one here if we play our cards right. Got to get rid of the handball. Oh, he's done.
A bit
just
too
try
much.
to take on one too many. Just had to get rid of the handball. Try to fight his way through. Dacos is by himself here. Oh, not lucky. Got to compete. Oh, my gosh.
Light just didn't put a hand up.
Oh, just ran under the ball. What happened here? It's almost like on his last step as he's about to launch, that's when he got the body contact.
It looks like he went to block Howe, and then McStay's made the body contact on him.
Any danger of a Collingwood player missing a shot from goal as well?
To be fair, when they're getting shots from 10 metres out at the top of the
from
square.
That close. Yeah,
like,
true.
They've probably had four tonight of those.
And that's it, Noel. I think it's all, and this is what these games are all about, just learning from their mistakes. So it's just another crack at playing as a full unit, which is good. Yeah, you're right. Don't argue. Their back half chemistry is pretty good for the Pies. They are looking very good. I agree, RC. If Blight just went for every mark, he'd probably take a lot more than what he currently does. Oh, terrible bounce. He was just backhanded out of the middle there. That was good from Trezise to get body on, but the handball's missed from Timmy Taranto.
And a poor tackle attempt by Nank.
We're just we're robbing ourselves of some of those opportunities, aren't we? As the Pies go forward again. Surely that's a free kick. No? Okay.
No, they won't call it because he got a fist to the ball.
Oh, did he? I didn't think he did. Okay, he got a fist on it. But again, yeah, we have that forward foray before, and we just can't get that last handball or that last link in the possession chain together to be able to execute it. And that's just a polish and an experience thing, I suppose. A side bottom kicks an arsey goal. Jesus. How did we not shut that down?
He's an old man.
He's just walked through about 3 players there. That's the stuff that's annoying. Like, you don't mind if we make turnovers, taking on risky kicks and stuff like that, but letting side bottom just coast through. Like, Taranto's missed him and not held on. Voston and Nank Yeah, no, we've got to be better than that. Gosh. So now they are actually starting to get on one of those mini runs, aren't they? So this next 3-4 minutes is going to be actually really interesting to see how we respond. They've kicked 2 or 3 in a row. So now it's time to see how we respond, how we slow down that momentum, how we try and get the game back on our terms a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, God, they've just come straight out the stoppage again. Thank God Short read that.
40.
He got ironed out after he got rid of it too. Is that Harry Armstrong?
It is.
I'm saying pencil it in. He's been taught by Matty Lloyd. If he doesn't throw grass up, I'll be disappointed here. And I'm also equally as confident as saying that pass was not intended to go there. That looks shanked. But Harry's playing in front and found himself in the right spot. Come on, Harry, get your first goal. Left footer. Oh, he's
missed it. Yeah, but fucking run with the calls.
I'm trying to back the young kids in, but I mean, in some ways, it's a little bit uncharacteristic. 4 goals, 10. Oh, Vlosten's gone way early there. That's a bad jump there.
Yeah, that's a poor decision from one of the leaders. Well done, Trezise.
We've got to just hold on here, and it's a little bit disappointing that he's missed that goal because it would have been good to get the game back a little bit. But hopefully we can hold out for the last couple of minutes.
On top in clearances, 20-18 as well for a second string midfield.
And we've still had more scoring shots, but we're just not converting. Even convert half of them. And yeah, it's a different game. No worries, Kane. All good, mate. Thanks for stopping by, mate. I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Oh, he's kicked that as well.
We miss easy. This is like the St Kilda game that he had where they just could not miss.
Will not miss. That had no right to go in. Bloody hell. That's a disappointing goal to give up. No one stayed down. He didn't even have control of it. Jesus Christ. You could play this game 5 times over and they won't kick that straight again. Ridiculous. I'm guessing it's still a bit muggy and dewy outside as well, I would have thought. Because the Pies are really getting back on top in the midfield now. Side bottom, Pendlebury, Dacos are all getting to work in a big way. Minute 32 left.
Houston. He's a long kick.
Oh my God, we've just watched him mark it. What are we doing? Wowee. You can't let the key forward from the other team just run through the pack uncontested and take a mark. That's horrible. See, they've got a fair bit of a run on here. How many goals have they kicked in a row now?
I don't know what Floston's complaining for there.
It's just very telling in the middle that if we don't get that first possession, we're pretty much cooked. It's going back the other way real quick. Last 5 goals. So that's that run that's very annoying. It was Mark, yes.
Here they go again.
Geez, that was an ugly kick.
That was a nice hit.
Do you try and score yourself here, or?
I think it's where you just tempo. Oh, big leap.
He doesn't mind flying for him, Harry. Good spoil. Six seconds. Get it in there. Get it in there. Oh, I can't take the mark. Oh, Herbert with the Nank Watch poo. Not happy with him, Herbert. Half-time, Collingwood 13-1, 79, would you believe, to 14-34. The straight kicking a goal. Killing us. Miller is playing, although you could argue that in the last 5 goals that the Collingwood have kicked, that our key backmen haven't really done a hell of a lot in terms of competing, which has been a little bit frustrating. But look, we had some good moments early in that second quarter, Grok. We started off not too bad. Trezise was impacting the contest early. Ross was doing really well. But then as the quarter went on, the Collingwood midfield just got to work and they were able to get on top. And they put a bit of distance between us.
Yeah. Our defensive pressure was really, really good for the first, I'd say the last 10 minutes of the first quarter and the first 12 minutes of this quarter, which is, again, positive signs. If we can, it shows that it stacks up against one of the more quality teams in the comp. It's just, again, those little lapses and then the switching off and opposition gets a run.
How do we fix the defensive issue of letting opposition key forwards take easy marks? Is it largely a communication thing or an experience working together as a unit thing, or maybe a combination of both?
It's a combination of both, but it's also smart by Collingwood. Collingwood are very good at blocking space on opposition defenders, which allows one of their tools to sprint through the contest for an easy, uncontested mark. I saw that 3 or 4 times that quarter, just the easy marks at the top of the square. Because like the one with Cameron where he gave it off to Bobby, like Myercheck stood in the goal square and took out both Brown and Floston from competing.
Yeah,
just stood his ground. Yeah, and that's something that we don't do enough of for our forwards.
Yeah, they're just left to a genuine one-on-one.
Yeah.
We'll have a look at the disposals. Can I filter that? Here we go, Richmond. Basic. So disposal-wise, leading the way, Jaden Short on 20, Timmy Taranto 15, Nankervis 15, McIntosh 13, Hopper 12, Jack Ross 10, Trezise 10, Broad 8, Banks 8, Sonzi 8, Light 7, Dow 7, Green 6, Vloston 5, Mansell 5, Ryan 5, Brown 5, Miller 4, Harry Armstrong 3, with 4 tackles from Harry Armstrong, which is really good. Bauer with 3 and 2 goals. Rioli 3, Campbell 3, and then the following players haven't taken the field yet, just for those wondering. McAuliffe hasn't played yet, Fawcett's not played yet, Trainer hasn't played yet, and Sims hasn't played yet. So I think someone had mentioned that those players were going to play in the second half, I believe. So we possibly won't see Harry Armstrong in the second half. So with Jaden Short as a leading disposal getter for us, maybe getting back to the role he used to know and love and getting some confidence back, hopefully.
Yeah, and not as many dump kicks from Shorty tonight. But then again, he's had more space to work with going forward when he's had the ball. He hasn't been immediately pressured for the dump kick as well, which is good.
Yeah, I suppose he was lowering his eyes a bit more and doing those shorter passes to keep the ball moving while maintaining possession, which was good too. Looking at the tackles, Harry Armstrong with 4 tackles, which you love to see from a first-year player as a key forward. Numbers like that alone will almost get you picked round 1, I reckon. I think tackles in your forward 50 from a big man are worth their weight in gold. Jack Ross with 4 tackles as well. Seth Campbell with 2. Tim Taranto 2. Nank 2. Sonzi 2. And then Hopper, Trezise, McIntosh, Vloston, Mansell, Dow, Brown, all on 1 apiece.
Clearances.
Yeah, not bad, Harry.
Nank's got 4 clearances. Rossi's got 4. Macca's got 3. Hopper, Taranto, and Trezise 2 each. And 1 to Campbell, 1 to Mansell, 1 to Ryan, and 1 to Short.
So, we were doing okay on the clearance front. It's just that if the clearance didn't go our way, we just got torched on the rebound. And this is what I mean. Like, I know I've made a few videos and we've spoken about this on the pod a few times, but this is why I've never been fully sold on the midfield mix of Taranto, Hopper, and it was, for argument's sake, meant to be Prestia, but in this example, it's a Ross or a Camden McIntosh. None of those guys are exceptionally quick, even though Camden's a reasonably good defensive player. The moment they come up against a midfield trio with the pace of like a Nick Dacos, even Pendlebury showing some good moves in side bottom, that we just get exposed massively instantly and that they're getting easy inside 50s. And this is where I'd love to see a Morris Rioli in there or a Mansell or a Seth Campbell, something like that, just to give a bit more toe.
Give me Steely Green.
Steely Green?
With his mongrel, his attack on the footy, and like his tackling, I think he'd be a very solid midfielder.
Is that the answer, though?
He was drafted as a midfielder from Peel Thunder.
Yeah, okay. It's worth a shot. This is the thing. We've got to try stuff. Glenn, Jaden Short's going at 80%, so I think you're barking up the wrong tree a little bit there with that one. He's been very effective. Didn't take our chances, agree. And this is almost the story of our last 5 years in reality, that we tend to miss a lot of easy shots, don't we? And the opposition, for some reason, always seem to kick accurately in front of goal. But it's the age-old saying, bad kicking's bad football. And, yeah, we've had equal or one less score, same scoring shots, but we're a mile off the pace scoreboard-wise. So hopefully in the second half we can convert a few more goals and bridge the gap a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, Short also 677 metres gained.
Yeah, right, already. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the next best 193, which is Banks.
Wow, that's a big difference. Mansell and Mungle about him, I like it. And that's why I can kind of, maybe when we're more fully got our full team out there, but I can see him getting some midfield minutes as well. Just because of that Mungle, because of that chasing and tackling pressure. It's just something to try, because I just don't think the balance is exactly right in the midfield with those other starting 3. It's been a concern of mine for a little while, to be honest.
The one thing I did notice that quarter, once it was a bit more physical from us, a lot more pressure, and Sonsi wasn't anywhere to be seen. Yeah,
true. I suppose these young kids are going to fade in and fade out, aren't they? What about Blight? Taking some nice marks down back. He's also had some marks he hasn't gone for, which has been interesting. Like we said earlier, you would rather him just have the license and go for everything. Just have a dip.
Yeah, he's 50-50. He's had a 50-50 game. Half of the things he's done are really good, and half of the things he's done have been absolutely horrible.
it does give off, and I'm not at all saying he's going to be a similar player, but it's very Alex Rance vibes, isn't it? Like he's taking the good with the bad. He'll do some really great things, and then there'll be some kicks where you're like, oh, that was a bit iffy.
Yep.
Paul wants to know our thoughts on Harvey Langford as a player. I didn't actually see him play in the practice game, but I know he was probably a name that was in the mix for us to take. The big knock on Harvey Langford was his pace, so I'm not sure if that's picked up or improved in the off-season with the Ds, but I think that's why some clubs were maybe a little bit scared. But he's a good size, and he seems to use the ball okay. But yeah, I'm sure he'll get some good game time this year, no doubt.
That's a good call, Kane. You can definitely see Caracella's fingerprints all over the way we're moving the ball when we actually have it.
What do you mean by what are you seeing that's to suggest, like with Caracella's fingerprints? What are the hallmark traits?
It's handball out of the actual contest, but it's getting it to the outside runners rather than trying to squeeze it through the contest, getting it up and over to the outside runners, which is something that we really didn't do last year, was trying to work our way with short ones. And we haven't really been handballed to anyone under pressure, under immediate tackling pressure. That was something that over the last couple of years frustrated, I know, myself and certainly everyone else on the podcast, was the amount of players who just dished the handball off because they didn't want to take the tackle and gave it to someone who was immediately wrapped up anyway. We haven't seen much of that tonight. It's been the handballs. It seems they've been more thought about with where the handballs are going than just dishing it off for the sake of avoiding being tackled. And even the way we're kicking, obviously switching was a big thing under Caracella as well, and we're switching a lot better tonight as well.
It has been noticeable in those 45-degree kicks, which are the things that we've been seeing on the training videos, and it's kind of what, and I think this is where some of the angst come from last week, because that's what we wanted to see last week, but it never eventuated. But yeah, to see those risky kicks inboard, it just opens up the ground so much, doesn't it? Like it gives you so many more options on either side of the field or straight down the guts.
100%.
Just looking at one of my favorite stats that I usually roll with most weeks after a game, our goal kicking efficiency, we're currently at 13%. That is not good. I reckon last year we might have hovered in the 30s or 40s, which isn't great either. I think league average is something about the high 40s, low 50s. Collingwood are at 48%, 13 goals from 27 inside 50s, and we are 4 goals from 30 inside 50s. So there's definitely a lot of polish to come from that front, but at least we're kind of hitting our targets and giving ourselves chances. We're just not converting. And again, Tom Lynch will make a little bit of a difference in that aspect as well.
Shane Rioli has had some nice moments with his pressure, hasn't really been involved much with the ball, although he did have a really nice pass to Mansell. Hasn't really got involved much outside of that. Banks has had an okay game. He's gotten involved, had 200 metres gained so far. It's just floating around, hasn't really had much of an impact either.
So yeah, Banks is kind of just working off halfback. Seems to be doing reasonably well. Morris Jr., he's had a couple of handballs that have just missed the mark, but if they had to come off, it would have been, in another inside 50 entry. I'd like to see him up around the ball a bit more. You want to see him get a bit busier. Maybe it's just to help boost his confidence, get a few more touches. And it's games like this, yeah, and you can try things like that. So whether it's a few minute stints here and there, I just wouldn't mind seeing Morris pushed up a little bit more. Twitter's not happy. Is that right, Kane? What else have we got here? Any other questions? Feel free to fire them through and we'll get to them as well. Oh, this is a good call from Stephen too. That Gibcus and Bolter down back will improve that defence. It's actually probably a point that I've maybe forgotten or glossed over in my own mind that, Bolter's probably our best defender. We're not going to have him for the first few games, which hurts. But and Gibcus too, even though he's not had a huge crack at it, we can all see the type of player he's going to be. And you're right, that does make our defence a bit better. And yeah, Trezise has been noticeable. I agree. I thought he had a really good quarter, especially in the back 50 stoppages. He was getting pretty busy there in getting the ball out, which was good.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's a little bit of burnout at Groc's house.
Good old Cryo. Who needs to go to Calder Park?
Don't argue's keen to see the energy Trainer brings. Yeah, I like it. I'm looking forward to Trainer. It's hard. Like, you don't know what to expect. I think Harry Armstrong's put in a great effort straight off the bat for his first half. And what I'm interested to see is where Trainer plays. What's everyone thinking? I know he was drafted as an intercept defender, but is he going to play in the defensive unit? Is he going to play wing, half forward? Where do you all think he's going to play? And Grock, where do you reckon he's going to play?
I suppose he can't be that much worse than what our defenders have served up against their forwards so far. But I would like to see him with his aerial threat. I would like to see him up forward, him and Bauer launching at the footy in marks. I think that'll be at least entertaining.
Yeah. If nothing else, he's a really good user of the ball too, and I think he's pretty good athletically. For some reason, I just can't get out of my head seeing him on the wing. I don't know why, and it may not even eventuate, but the kid can play, and I know we've said it before, but he could end up being one of the best from that lot. He was highly, highly touted. Like, people have to remember, he was considered top 5 overall and was mentioned as probably the best intercept defender behind or in front of Taru, or if not level with Taru. And it was just the concussion stuff that kind of made him slip. And I'm still not totally sure if any of it was fully founded.
Yeah, absolutely. There was enough to scare a lot of clubs.
Yeah.
And I think rightly so. We had 2 knocks pretty quick in succession. And I think with, obviously, you've got the class action against the AFL for CTE and concussion injuries, and obviously the whole Shane Tuck situation. Clubs were going to be wary on spending a high draft pick. Obviously, they've been scared off by Paddy McCartan as well. Brayshaw, those early picks that have had a history of concussions. So sort of understandable that clubs would have been wary, even if there wasn't too much. Obviously, with how the draft was last year, with it not being super high top end, but just a deep top 30, it was the type of draft where clubs probably weren't willing to part with a higher pick for like even a grey question mark.
Yeah, and I think that's a large reason why we got Houghton as well, because we obviously had the luxury of not burning a couple of picks, but you could be a bit more adventurous and take those risks because you've got 5 other picks coming through that you can nail. So,
absolutely.
Good one through here from David Walters, who's actually at the game. He's sitting near the bench, and the gameplay tweak he can see and notices the going through the corridors when the ball's going forward. And he followed up with that he's sitting near the bench, and he's heard that comment about the corridor into the forward line spoke about several times. So that's good to hear that that's a point of interest for the team itself.
Yep, there's also a comment here, keen to see McAuliffe have a run. He's going to be the midfielder that's got the pace. He's pretty quick, McAuliffe. So he'll be the one that'll be able to at least be that point of difference in the midfield.
And the arms. He's got the strength. How's the pipes on him?
Black Crow, no. Smiley did not get picked tonight.
Nathan Broad said on Triple M today that he was very, very close to getting picked. I don't know if that means he's out of calculations for round 1 or what that sort of means, but yeah, it would have been nice to have seen him out there. James Racing's put out that Fox are reporting that Lynch and Lawler are on track for round 1, which is awesome. And as much as it would have been great to have Lynch out there tonight, obviously, I think he would categorically much rather him playing round 1 than tonight.
Yeah. But that's the thing. You have a look at Lynch's history. He hasn't played any games coming into round 1 of the last few years, and he's broken down after 2 or 3 games. So I think at this point, I'd like to see him on the park no matter what game it is, whether it be a practice game or anything, just to get the conditioning up. But yeah, you understand the decision from the club and the reasoning behind it. But
yeah,
with someone with his history, same as Prestia, like you want to get them on the park just so their body's used to it, so they don't suffer anything during the season. I tried very hard not to say the I word there.
Very good. Make sure as well, guys, if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We've clicked over 2,000, which is amazing. So make sure you keep getting behind us. We're starting to sort of grow into one of the bigger club-based podcasts, which is awesome. So it's all thanks to all of your love and support. From UG, apologies if I've said that incorrectly. Do we think that Uze is the coach that will take us forward, or do we think someone like Hinkley or Scott is the coach who will end up with?
I vomit if it was either of those two, Coach Yellow and Black. To be honest, yeah. Um, it's sort of tough because you have a look at Hardwick. After the first 4 or 5 years, you're saying, okay, Hardwick's probably um, pretty good at building a list and building a club, bringing close together, developing young players, but probably not good enough to take the next step. Obviously, after those 3 elimination final losses in a row, there were question marks. And then, you trust it back the process and he wins 3 flags. So I think it's still far too early to call for Uze. There's still a lot of remnants of Dimmer at the club. And he's still yet to actually put his own footprints on the game plan and everything. So I don't think you can make that call now or for another year or 2 at least.
Yeah, and I don't want this to seem like a throwaway or an excuse or whatever it might be, but I really don't consider last year Uze's first proper year because, like we said, there was still Damien Hardwick, assistant, still at the helm, and there was a lot of confusion there because of contracts and things like that. So he didn't have his full setup. So this year for me is kind of, I feel like, the start of his tenure. And I think when it gets to maybe 2027, start of 2028, that's when we'd probably start casting a bit more harsher criticism and judgment because you've got to give him time to implement the game plan. And a lot of clubs have said, not just us, that with the amount of limited access they have to the new players with the training restriction loads put on by the AFL, that it's harder and harder to try and implement all of these game plan stuff to these young kids over pre-season. So it's going to take a while. Like, we're not going to have overnight fixes. So as a supporter, you've got to make sure you're sort of understanding and in for the long haul. But I won't be passing harsh judgment on him until, at least 2027. On the proviso that we're showing improvement. If we go backwards and show nothing, that's a different story. But if we're showing game plan, if we're showing improvement, ball movement, attacking with the ball, things like that, I think you can keep ticking those boxes and keep progressing forward.
100%.
There you go. Lynch said it's fine for round 1. Very good. Lunchtime ladies. How good's my little graphic, by the way, in the background? Just whip it up in the spare time. Thank you to Canva for the template.
Yeah. If we're talking about potential replacement coaches who would be handy, Horse, I reckon, would be okay.
The Horse. As the second half's about to begin, folks. Yeah, the Horse, okay. I reckon I've got a feeling he could be one of the ones lined up for Tassie. Ball has just been bounced.
Tassie are going to want an experienced coach.
They are going to be, when I say they, I mean the AFL, are going to be wanting a marquee coach for them to. Yeah. I don't think they're going to have any problems getting supporters and getting it off the ground, but they'll want a ready-made, experienced coach, which is fair enough. As Jaden Short gets the first inside 50 for the quarter. Oh, is that Harry Armstrong out there still? Hey, he's still out there. Very good. Very good. I've
heard Buckley's the favourite for Tassie at the moment.
That's a good one too. I think he'll be definitely in contention. I wonder if Hinkley's in contention as well with the succession plan from Port being phased out. They might have some options. I mean, if you're picking Horse or Buckley over Hinkley, I think. Oh, Ross has almost got a nice handball out there to Campbell. Got to clamp down on the Pies here. Good contest. Brown just didn't seem out the side of his vision there. Good tackle. Dropping the ball. That's a throw. How is that not a throw even against us? What number is Luke Traynor? I can't remember what number he was. He's in the 30s. Is he 32?
31.
31. Because I saw 36 flash past and 30. I wasn't sure who it was. Black Crow, the real question is Dusty going to commentate with Fox? Geez, I hope he does. I would really love to see how that pans out. Some of the promos that he and Jack Reward have done have been quite funny. It's been very, very good. Oh, is this a 50 against Broad? Oh, God. What was the 54? Does anyone know? Kano, not sure when I'm coming back to Twitch. It's just I'm just running out of time. Like the Tiger Car stuff's been going really, really well. We've got some serious momentum there. Work's kicking off. 3 kids kicking off. Yeah, it's just been hard to get back into. I might try and do some more footy related stuff though during the year, I reckon. So that might be where it's at.
All about PGA. New PGA game came out.
When did that come out?
Came out last week.
Oh, okay. Now that 50-meter penalty against Broad, they are the ones that pissed me off to no end because he was moving backwards. He was moving away from the guy with the ball, giving him space, which is what the rule's been designed for, to give the kicker space to dispose of the footy. So he's actually helping the kicker out. That should be the one part of the interpretation that's scrapped. If you're moving backwards and away from the mark, you should not be pinged for stand. It's complete bullshit. Pye's just doing it far too easily out the midfield again. Crossing down to bust down the boundary and say nothing. It'd be so good, Greg. It'd be so good.
For Dusty to be, yeah, no.
Yeah. And that's why I love the promo. He's just, I know it's all set up, but I'm sure he'll do something constructive. That's going in too. Honestly. How have they kicked 15-1? But again, that turnover from the half-back line, we were just nowhere to be seen to help try and control that. Oh, sorry, from the midfield. Steele side bottom intercepts it, and then they're away.
No crunch Dacos.
I cannot get over how accurate they've been. Like I said, play this game 5 times, and they will never be that accurate again. This is ridiculous. Stand rule's a bullshit rule. Agree. Oh, don't argue. He's gone the triple split screen here. PGA game, footy, and YouTube. Jesus. Very nice. Let's see if we can do something from a centre bounce. Trezai's on a wing. Oh, no, that's not going to end up well. In the back. Jesus. Oh, well done, Trezai. He pushed back hard there and got the mark. That was good.
Yeah, another one.
What's that?
The you jinxed us.
Well, with what? Oh my gosh, that's a dangerous kick.
Ever since they haven't got a run on.
They've kicked about 6.
they've kicked 8,
9. Wow. Who kicked that ball inboard? Like, you don't mind taking off a dangerous kick, but that was not really the right kick to take off there. Straight to a 2-on-1, just sat it on someone's head. Yeah, turnovers do hurt. It's definitely, the heat's definitely on the players now to actually show some type of an answer here. Jack Ross, was it? Yeah, that's not a great turnover. Okay, so John says second half, Green. Oops, where's that one? Green, Harry, Ryan, Dow out in, Sims, Kane, Liam, Trainer, Rioli in the middle. Oh, is that what you're wanting to see, or is that what's happened? So we've still got the same midfield crew in there. I still think it's too slow. Oh, get rid of it. Round his neck, Sons. Nice. How was that? He just ran into him at the side. Pressure him, pressure him. I don't understand how that wasn't 50 to Sonzi. Was he off his line? I'm not sure if he was.
Deliberate. Oh,
Front half stoppage. Forward 50. We'll see if we can manufacture something here. Good handball out to Ross. Down to the hot spot. There's no one there. Oh, God. Bowers almost killed him. Oh, he was going the ball, though. So see if we can get some numbers back behind the ball to slow it down a little bit. Jeez, he's put it in between three of them there. That's a good kick. That was almost 50 against us, I reckon.
another one.
Has he kicked that as well? Oh, my
Yeah.
God. Wow. I mean,
17.
we'll probably... I'll go. 17-1. I mean, we're probably lucky they didn't even mark it there. We just completely misjudged that altogether.
Have Collingwood got their goal kicking sliders turned up to 99?
Yeah, it seems like it. Cannot miss. Miller seems to be lost. I think a lot of the defenders seem to be lost. It's almost like there's Trainer. It's almost like they're not reading the flight of the ball well. They're either running under it or they're not communicating well enough to go in and spoil it. So we've got this time. We've got Taranto, Camden. Is that Mansell?
Yes. Yep, Mansell. And you got Dab coming in from the wing.
For me, I feel like that's a better balance. May get proven wrong, but there you go. Win a clearance.
He marked it.
$17-1 shouldn't be possible. And the only behind was Rush. Is that right, Dave? Jesus. That's freakish. Good tackle. He's trying to take him on. They'll ball it up, though.
German suplex.
German suplex. Yeah, agreed, Danny. You want to sort of see, you would have hoped for a more closer affair on the scoreboard with the senior players out there for sure. I definitely agree. And for the first half, we were thereabouts. It's just that we've just been obliterated through the midfield from there on, and it's just given them easy access. And our own inaccuracies as well haven't helped. Come on, get him. Oh, Jesus, Miller's just flattened him. Morris getting his hands on it.
Just not enough on the kick.
Bowers a little bit unlucky there. I thought he might have got hands on that.
No, it dropped short and he went to get it, came off his boot.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
He's kept that in well. Still haven't seen Trainer's position yet. Maybe he's a bit deeper. Unlucky there from Zonzi. But yeah, let's start to see some new faces up and around the contest. mix it up a bit. Trezai's a new winger, possibly hawked him. He had a pretty good second quarter. And even he's doing pretty well in the third too. He was getting some nice clearances in the defensive part of the ground as well. Yeah, he's probably a little bit quieter towards the back half of the second quarter, but I think the whole team was too. Okay, so Trainer sitting behind Short. So maybe they are trying to free him up as that intercept marking player. Trainer halfback. This is Dave the Dasher. Hawk Tim, what do we think of Sonsy's game? We thought he's done all right. There was in the first and second quarter when it was a lot closer and we were being a bit more competitive. He made some really good decisions, made some good inside 50 passes that led to shots on goal. And I thought he was doing quite well. What do you reckon, Grock, of Sonsy's game?
Started off really well, and when the game was a bit more open, and then obviously as it's become more contested, more tackling, more pressure, he just hasn't been as effective as he was earlier in the game. He sort of faded out.
Yeah. As Trainer takes his first mark there, and he's kicked it out in the full. Just tried to hug the boundary line a little bit too much. Haven't seen McAuliffe on the ground as yet. Was that him there? That might be him there walking to the contest, I think I saw. I thought Cosy might have got another crack at this as well, Grock, after his West Coast game.
Absolutely, and looking at the way that our defenders have been setting up, I think he probably would have. He'd be sitting there thinking, "Gee, I'm stiff."
Yeah, very stiff. He and Blight played relatively okay against West Coast. They won some good one-on-one contests and things like that. But I thought he did show a bit, and was probably a little bit unlucky to not be playing. How does Jamie Elliott take a mark between two players? I know he's a good player, but
thought Campbell Gray was stiff to be dropped as well.
Yeah, or at least be on the extended playing list to have a crack. Widescreen, for me, the most concerning part is how easily we get beaten out the midfield if we don't win the clearance.
Yeah,
I'm still not convinced we've got the balance right there.
It's the lack of outside pace. Another one, straight through the middle.
So that's probably the most concerning part. And obviously our inaccuracy is a bit of a annoyance as well. But like you would probably say that over half of the goals that Collingwood have kicked have been as a result of winning clearance or turnover in the middle or back part of the ground, and our mids just not being able to go with them. And I know that Dacos is obviously a very, very elite player, one of the best going around, but we've just been burnt the other way. So I just don't think that Taranto, Prestia, Hopper, Ross, McIntosh kind of blend, I don't think it can work. I don't know if it's sustainable. If we win the clearance, it looks great, but when we don't win the clearance, we're getting shit on pretty badly. The kick-in we had Hawkton was pretty good. It wasn't to the pocket. We played on, went down the wing. Samson Ryan took a mark, and we got on with it. So it actually worked really well. It's a shame we've not been able to see another one since.
There goes our clearance win, but turned it straight over.
Yep. Came a call of having an instant impact getting a clearance. And that's probably the scary part, David. Lack of polish in the midfield, but there's not much else to come back into the midfield. Like there'll be some youth that will go in there. Prestia goes in there, but that doesn't add too much pace, unfortunately, which I think is what we're needing the most at the moment.
Jones Racing, that's 10.
Yep, very good. You try and back the boys in, and they just backfires all the time.
I'm gonna have to
Good
start.
tackle.
I'm gonna have to utilize my executive order and ban you from making any definitive calls.
You won't be the only one trying to ban me from doing that, I can assure you. Oh, we're going to make another free kick. From what we hear, John, that we will be making, and look, like I said, all clubs will be making a pitch to Harley Reid if he's not signed, and will, from what we hear, undoubtedly be one of them. But I think if you were to ask a West Coast supporter, I reckon that we've probably got the best currency to pay him what he probably wants or what his manager wants, and I think we'll have the best currency from a draft pick perspective to suit a trade as well. I'm not sure other teams will have that just yet. So if he is looking to move on, then I would be gobsmacked if we didn't ask the question. I feel like we would be well and truly in the mix in some capacity.
We've got the most trade value, and we'll be able to offer him the most coin with the amount of retirees and everything.
The hard part is arguably convincing him to come play for us.
Yeah. Another one.
Oh, my God. They're kicking him from 55. I agree with you, Melanie. This is getting out of hand now. But why would Harley want to come to Richmond? Well, I think you've got to not think about the Richmond of now. You've got to think about the Richmond of a few years' time. That's the why. That's if you're selling it, that's what you have to sell.
Yeah,
it might be it's an incredibly hard sell, but that's the sell.
Imagine a midfield in 4 years' time of Lawler, Smiley, Reid. That is
exactly
enticing.
We can still draft well this year. It's not about this year's draft picks. It's about now that this year you can trade your 2026 and 2027 draft picks. You can do 2 years ahead of time. So at the moment, those 2026 and 2027 picks are at their highest value because of how we're playing now, or perceived value. So that could be the opportunity to cash in on those, but still go to the draft with our 2 selections this year.
No to Dersma for me, Paulie. I'd much rather Fred Rodriguez.
Oh, Rodriguez. He looks good. He looks very good. Davies Uniacke, it sounds like he's imminent signing to North Melbourne, does it? I know you hear mixed reports, but again, he would be another one that I think every club would ask the question of if he was genuinely on the table, but I'm not sure what he's doing there, if he's staying or going. Sims on the ground, playing up forward. Plays like a Jake Waterman, Fox suggests. Oh, it's a free kick against K-Mac. Oh, he's gotten away with one. Oh, but they were hot to ping Zhao for that to give it back. This has been a brutal second part of the second quarter into the third quarter. Yeah, Paulie D, investigate Rodriguez. We did a video on the YouTube channel with Cam Hicks talking about the draftees the other day. Rodriguez, a good one, and there's one of the hyphen names that I cannot remember. That's
Noah Hibbins-Hargreaves.
Yeah, Hibbins-Hargreaves, another one too. And I think the Footy Stuff YouTube page, I think, has some footage available on a few of these guys already. But yeah, definitely check out Fred Rodriguez. Very good. He's quick.
Very quick.
Oh, it's a tough call on Bauer, Danny, I reckon. Kicked 2 goals tonight. A couple of nice marks. He didn't do too well against West Coast, but I don't think the team was set up well enough for any Fort to do well just with the players that we picked. It just was never going to work. But he seemed to do okay tonight when we've been playing well. Unfortunately, from about the second quarter onwards, we've not really had a chance.
He's competed well when the ball's actually gone forward. He's mistimed a few of the leads and his jumps, but he's competed really well. The ball just hasn't been down the forward line for 40 minutes. Got to get up quicker there, Samson.
Yeah, it's an interesting call, Bendigo Gold prospecting, how that does damage to the confidence potentially. But yeah, the Collingwood goal kicking has been absurd. To be fair, they've had quite a few pretty easy shots on goal because of our poor defending and things like that. But yeah, it's been on fire. Bow round one. I reckon Bow will play round 1 too. And yeah, I think the keys, you want to see how he goes playing alongside Lynch. I agree. That's a nice kick. As Mantle takes the mark. This is where you got to move it quick. We've got one-on-ones. There we go. Oh, no, you should have kicked that. Not sure why we handballed it back to the outside there. See, I don't know why Tom Brown didn't try and hit the target up. He was released with the handball and probably needed to get it inside 50 then instead of going back to the outside.
Samson competes, drops it, and now he's just walking. Again, that's just poor. There's no urgency.
And they've just worked out of the back 50 fairly nicely.
David, yeah.
He clunked one earlier from a kick out, then that was kind of about it. I mean, at least the silver lining, at least his opponent stopped marking it. But yeah, we'd definitely rather him start clunking, even if you halve it and clunk 2 or 3 or force it nearly gets one. That's got to be close to him not disposing of the footy. No.
The tap.
Yeah, and Harry Armstrong's been good. I'm pretty confident he's off now. I think he's had his stint. But yeah, he laid about 4 or 5 tackles. Spewing, he didn't get that goal from his set shot, but he definitely did himself no harm in putting his hand up for round 1. I think it would actually be really interesting to see how he played alongside Tom Lynch, because Harry was running and jumping at the ball, crashing packs, doing all the things that you want to see your key forwards do. So
I think we can go the 3 tools against Carlton: Bauer, Lynch, Armstrong, because they all play different.
I reckon so too. Yeah, I reckon that's Armstrong might have just swapped with Fawcett, was my thinking. And Sims doing the forward line rucking. That's probably a throw from Campbell, but are they giving it touched or a goal? Goal, K-Mac. How reckons he touched it, but we'll take the goal. Watch him review this somehow. I'm not even sure they got reviewing there, but
Do you think Macca wants the headband now? Look at his head.
He's glistening, isn't he?
Well, he's just gotten out of the shower.
Oh, Jesus, just missed the post too. Just got out of the shower. Did he touch it?
No, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, agree, Ali. Like, Sims is competing on the ground. You saw him try and fight for the ball after the tap went to ground. Ryan hasn't done that at all.
And what we like about Sims is the ruck work part of his side is he does play quite aggressive, doesn't he?
And apparently he really loves body contact.
Which is good for a big man, so he should. There's Trainer. Yeah, nice kick, Luke. I like it. Danny boys, still reckon our biggest issue is skills, kicking, and speed. I mean, it's a bad trio to not be able to do well, isn't it? Speed definitely in certain parts of the ground. Kicking, look, there's some inexperience out there. There's some experience, and maybe it's a bit of a new game plan. I'd rather still see him try and take off these 45-degree angle kicks. They've got to try and get better at them somehow, don't they? But I think the speed is probably the main sticking point, especially out in the midfield.
Tony copped a knock at training a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, so as mentioned before, Nathan Broad said he was very, very close, that Smiley was almost playing. I just don't know, what that means for round one. Maybe still in contention. Who knows? K-Max earned his spot round one. Agree. I think, I know K-Max got his people who maybe aren't fans of his for whatever reasons, but I think he will almost certainly be there round one.
Well done, trainer.
Running hot, Richmond has scored the last goal. Very good. So I wonder do you reckon Sims, Grok, is a chance to get AFL game time this year? Like, absolutely. I know we've picked up a few forwards, but do you reckon he's a chance?
100%. Depending
early
on
or late?
Again, I wouldn't be surprised if it comes early, especially if Samson Ryan's not delivering. Like if that's the case, we've sort of seen Ryan's been on the list, 6-7 years now? You may, at this point, he's a given quantity. Why not play Sims for a few games to get him used to it?
Yeah. I think he'll definitely see some game time during the year for sure. Greg, defensive pressure a huge issue. It has been from late in the second onwards. I think for the first quarter and the first half of the second, I reckon we were sort of thereabouts. It wasn't too bad, was it? Oh, my God. Just marked in between three players.
Get the fist in there. You should have been able to kill that.
Yeah, agree. G'day, Klopp. Yeah, Shorty has had a full and uninterrupted pre-season. He was getting close towards 700 metres gains as of halftime. Not sure where that's progressed to now, but he's kind of been playing in that quarterback role that we were used to seeing him play. I suppose the hard part is from about halfway through the second quarter onwards, we've turned to rubbish again and haven't really got near it. So the first quarter and a half, we looked really good as a team and he was playing really well. But then, not much has really happened for the last quarter and a bit. Yeah, I think so too. I think he's definitely a project player, but I still think that, like you said, they may get some games into him depending on how things play out, I suppose. But he competes hard, and that's what you want.
Danny, probably not. Hayes Brown looked pretty solid in the West Coast hit-out game. I thought he did really, really well. So we've got that there. We'll probably do what we normally do and draft or trade for a more established ruckman in a couple of years.
I thought he might have. I know we can't have everyone have another go the next week, I guess, but I thought Hayes Brown did enough to have a look at too. Getty Morris. Good tackle. No, okay. Oh, just got it over the top of him. Geez, that's a lucky kick. Get out of his way, Nick. Come on, let's try and get another goal in this last minute. 2-on-1 here, surely. Good contest, Sims. Go, Morris. Go, go, go. Nice kick. Oh, shit, he's dropped it.
Oh, come on.
That's pretty bad.
How did they not pay the high?
We should have marked it, but you could have had both, the mark and or high, and now they're going to go back down the other end. That's disappointing when your momentum gets killed like that. Sims. Fair point as well, Dave. Collingwood are playing opening round, so they've had game simulation game or two more than us. Maybe not that it would matter, but they might be a bit further on. in their fitness potentially. That's it. Simple stuff matters. Get it down to the runners. How do you handball it over a 200 centimeter player? It's a very good point, Declan. It takes an extraordinary effort to do that, I reckon. But he just shouldn't have dropped the mark. How are you going with Sims playing round one? I mean, it's not entirely out of the question, I suppose. I think this is a bit of a stretch, maybe not the worst team since then. You've got to remember there's a ton of youngsters out there as well. Granted, the experienced guys should be doing a bit better, but I don't think it's that bad yet. 25 seconds left for the third.
Paid deliberate.
He had one arm held as he kicked it. It was being tackled. Ten seconds, just milking down the clock. So yes, not a very good third quarter. 19-1, 115 to 5-10-40. Not a lot to write home about in the third quarter, Grock. I thought we might have been able to freshen up and get ourselves back into it a little bit, but the Pies just proving too good. Again, it's the speed, Grock. It's the speed out in the middle. Once the ball, if we don't win the clearance, we are just getting reamed. We've got to address it.
We're playing half quarters. Like, obviously, Collingwood were all over us in the first half of the first quarter, all over us in the second half of the second quarter.
Yeah.
And then all over us again in the first half of the third quarter. I thought we did pretty well after the halfway point of this quarter, just to be able to lock things down and keep the ball sort of locked in and not allowing them that run. But, yeah, they're just punishing us when they've got the momentum. They're just, again, the speed in the midfield is the issue, and it's been a glaring issue for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
And, yeah, there's still no real signs that that's been rectified. And I don't think you can just solely back in your game plan. You need to address the leg speed as well. You can't just say, we'll just load up on players who can win a contest. But that's all well and good. But if you don't win the contest, what happens then? There's no contingency.
Yeah, and that's why I thought it was good to eventually see Mansell in there, who adds a bit of a point of difference. And I still stand by, throw Morris Jr. in there. I mean, at this point in time, there's nothing to lose. And yeah, I just have this awful feeling it's going to be a big prominent talking point for the whole year. Yeah. It's almost like they're too stubborn to go against it. Like they just want to make it work, but it's just proving time and time again it's just not quick enough. But I'll go through the stats just quickly. Jaden, in terms of disposals, Jaden Short, 22, Jacob Hopper, 20, Camden McIntosh, 19, and a goal. Timmy Taranto, 19, Nankervis, 19, and 25 hitouts, 4 tackles. Jack Ross, 17, Sam Banks, 15, Trezise, 14, Sonzi, 14, Dow, 13, Blight, 11, Brown, 11, Blight, 10, Vlosten, 10, Green, 10, Broad, 8, Mansell, 8, Seth Campbell, 8, Miller, 6, Ryan, 6, Morris, 5, Bauer, 4, McCullough, 4, Trainer, 4, Armstrong, 3, Fawcett and Sims, no registered disposal. I suppose what's alarming there for my eyes is that McCullough and Trainer have already registered 4 touches and have almost surpassed 4 or 5 players who've been on the ground the entire time, which is credit to them on one hand, but not great on the other hand.
100%. That's a fair point, Tom. Like, Houghton does have speed. He's similar to Bolton in that way. But again, he's not going to be your ball-winning midfield or the clearance player. You need someone who has genuine pace on the outside, which is why I was in the camp of if we didn't take Lawler, I was in the camp of Draper at 1, because Draper's got that burst of speed through the stoppage and runs both ways. I think he would have offered a big point of difference through our midfield. But yeah, hopefully this year we actually address it with one of the picks, whether we trade it for Reed or we go after someone like Rodriguez. That's all we can really hope for.
Yep, agree. Looking at some of the other stats, just oddly enough, our disposal efficiency is 74%. Collingwood's 80%. I'm not sure I'd buy that. Goal kicking efficiency is still 13%. Free kicks 4, we've got 12, they've got 16. Hit outs 31 apiece. We're actually still winning the clearances 38-31, but they've just been super effective with their clearances. Contested possessions, we're losing 98-101. It feels like it would be more than that. Anyway, uncontested possessions, we're losing 171-191. We've had 46 turnovers, which is 3 more than Collingwood. And they've had 3 more intercepts than us. This is where you start to get hurt a little bit. So marks, we've taken 58 and they've taken 89. I think that's a very big difference. Marks inside 50, we've got 6, they've got 11. And they've taken 8 contested marks and we've taken 5. So tackles, 39 tackles they've had 52. So they're the stats. Interestingly, okay, so we've had 59 rotations and they've had 56.
Jones Racing, just on that comment about Reed, yes, he's out of contract next year, where they won't get as much for him as they would this year. If he's out of contract, that lowers their bargaining power. Sort of like us with Rioli and Baker and Rioli and Bolton this year. They'd get more for Reed this year if they trade him while he's still got 1 year on his contract than if they do next year when he's out of contract.
Yeah, agree. They got to if they think he's going to go, they got to do it while he's got currency. Absolutely. I mean, we don't know that he's not tough on him. I don't think toughness and grunts. I think it's just a combination of who's in there. I don't know. It's an interesting one. I mean, you want to see players play hard for 4 quarters, I guess, don't you? But Taj Houghton, I'm very much looking forward to. He would have top 6, 100%. He would have gone top 6 or 7 easily. What else we got? But they'll refuse to trade him. Well, I mean, if they refuse to trade him, they might just miss out on extra currency. So it'll be interesting to see what the Eagles do there if he wants to leave, which is, I suppose, the big sticking point. But all right, last quarter coming up, folks. What do we want to get out of and see in this last quarter?
I just want to see us just fight. Just don't give up. Just don't let the Pies run over the top. Just show some pride.
That's pretty much it. I wouldn't mind seeing us experiment with a few things with the midfield mix. You want to see players like Trainer and McAuliffe get a bit more of a touch and get involved. Would love to see Sims kick a goal or two. That'd be nice.
I'd love to see Sims and Fawcett get a goal.
Who's in the midfield? We've got McAuliffe, Ross, and Campbell.
Yeah.
Oh, they've paid a hold. Fuck me, honestly. It's going to get numbers in there.
Oh, Samson.
Oh, boy. That is shit ass.
That's a don't come Monday.
That's horrible. That's as easy of a goal as you're going to see. The ball just fell straight into his hands there. When you're trying to lock yourself in for a ruck spot, that's not helping your cause. I mean, Nate takes that mark 99 times out of 100. Most AFL players should.
Yeah.
Especially at that height. That is a real disappointing effort there. Last quarter just keeps
to take that.
What was that?
I would have backed Sims to take that too.
Yeah, maybe. Dave, I reckon that's a reasonable call. That something like that could definitely cost him a spot in round one. I agree. It's just, it sounds cliche, but it's just about doing the fundamentals right.
That's a great
kick.
ball movement, and the tap.
The tap, the hydrant. Look, we've changed the midfield mix. We've got some pace in there. Look what happens. Get us in the coaching box. Get us a direct line into Uzo's coaching box. Good mark by the tap. Let's see if
Campbell.
we can jag one. Sorry if I'm not paying attention. Oh, I don't know if I'll read that out. Tig sent me a text, but I don't think I'll read it. Come on, tap.
Oh, missed it.
Shit.
What did he say? Do you want to message it to me?
Wow. Yeah, I'll send you that one. Yep. Why do we get another behind? Hang on, I'll add that. That was better work out the middle, though.
100%.
Hawks in tap is force it, because force it is what a tap is called.
What the Americans call, and yeah.
Oh, why did I change that one for? Sorry. Yeah, David, good question about why wasn't Caleb Smith picked. I thought he was one of our best against West Coast and thought he might have got a run for sure. Oh, no. You don't like seeing that.
And yeah, hands straight up.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I thought Caleb Smith might have... He was named as an emergency. I thought he would have been close to a lock to play in this game. So I was a little bit shocked that he didn't. Like, it's a practice game, mate. Just get off the ground, buddy. If we're a man short, we're nearly 100 points down. Just get off. Don't stay out there. Trezise has been okay, Pat. It's hard to quantify, though, because as a team, we were good in the first quarter and a half, so it looked a lot better, and he was doing really well. Since after that, as a team, we've played pretty poorly, so it's not much has really happened there.
You know what it is? It's you saying the I word after you saying you weren't going to say it in the apology.
The botched apology. Will the Tigers go 0-14 at the start of the season? I hope not. Look, I mean, yeah, it's hard. You look at the scoreline like this, and it gets hard to see where your win comes from, doesn't it? But, you play. Stranger things have happened, I suppose. Hopefully we can jag a win. I think the first 5 or 6 might be tough. Oh, no, he's dropped that. Force it.
He competed well and followed up, though.
Get him, Morris. Oh, out in the full, surely. Yep. Nah, Dave, I'm probably going to cop the blame for quite some time on this, and I think it's actually deserved. I think it's deserved. Sims he's got a fly. Oh, Jesus. Was that Bauer? Morris is cramping. He cannot move. Come on, mate.
Nice vision.
Get it moving. Get it moving. Don't wait for him. Good mark. Green. Come on. Let's get a goal. Yeah, I think Steely's been okay. I think he's done really well. 11 disposals, 3 marks. Just needs to convert his chances, that's all. Dave, if we don't win a game, do we qualify for priority pick? Yeah, well, I mean, the priority picks still exist.
Yes, we would, because it's... I
don't know what the qualifications are.
Combined 4 wins or less over 2 seasons.
Is that right?
If we don't win a game, yeah, we'll because we only won 2 last year.
So we could, in theory, get picks 1, 2, and 5 or 6 with the North pick.
Yeah, it comes after your first live pick.
Yeah, so we finished last. We would get 1, 2, and then North's pick.
Yeah, but could potentially end up with 1, 2, and 3, depending on where North finish.
That's true. And look, not that you want to promote losing and stuff like that, because you obviously want to go to the footy and win, right? I completely get it, and I'm all on board with it. Like we've said, though, if there's a time that you're going to bottom out and have to cop some bad shit like this, it's now before Tassie comes in. Like the timing of it actually couldn't be any better. Oh, he's roosted that. Jeez, just fallen short. Oh, Mansell fighting through. No, straight up and down.
Force it. Well done.
Oh, unlucky that it didn't go 15. Oh, blind turn from Jack Ross to Camden, who's just blinded a few people with the sweat on his head. Mansell, no. Stoppage it is.
Fawcett did really well there.
To keep his eyes on the ball throughout that whole contest was really good. Oh, behind. Look, Collingwood have probably taken the foot off the pedal a bit in this quarter. It's probably fair to say, but at least we're not doing the reverse and rolling over as well. Oh, that's a dangerous kick. Oh, he's handballed it straight to his counterpart. Oh, look at them. They're away. They are streaming. Oh, it's a behind. Well, they paid a mark. Oh, it's a mark. They would have got a point for it. Luke Traynor, though, good mark.
McIntosh easily our best tonight.
Playing in a multiple range of positions as well. Has anyone watching on the telecast, has there been any updates on Blight? Have they said anything at all with his shoulder? Oh, that was not a great handball. It might work.
How's that? That should be an unrealistic attempt.
It didn't touch the footy. Nothing about it yet. All right. If anyone hears anything, obviously shout out. Yeah, how wasn't that an unrealistic attempt? Interesting. Oh, Miller. He kicked it on the backward step. Oh, he's back out there, though. Blight. Maybe it was just a bit of a stinger. Yes, he's not having a shot, is he? Pointing at the goal square. Oh, Houston could hit this, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon he'll nail this. Oh, just missed.
Well, we get to see a kick out. Let's see what we do here.
Short.
Oh, short of the pocket. We're back.
Long to the wing.
Oh.
It's not even worth mentioning.
It's almost like they've got into their shell and just gone back to just playing it ultra safe. Oh, it's on the ball. No. Interesting. Maybe the umpire was blindsided there.
I thought they pinged him based on Rossi's body language.
Yeah, I thought so too. Go, turn and go. Got to hit a target.
No, oh,
Oh, what a waste of an entry.
oh,
Oh,
what
no,
was
what was that?
that?
Who's he seen out there? That's a good mark.
He's off. Like,
He'll kick this. Just got to make sure they man up on everyone in the corridor to make him at least have to have the shot. Oh, he's at the post.
they're missing.
Where was this earlier? Jeez. Here we go, another kick out. Miller is standing deep. Oh no, a bit different. Here we go. Give the hand. Why didn't you handball it on? Trainer on the inside. Oh my gosh.
It's better kicking though.
Better kick in.
Didn't come straight back.
Just the inability to hit the targets down the ground hurts. Still winning clearances somehow, 40 to 33. Doesn't feel like it though, does it?
Absolutely not. I think it's the quality of the clearances though.
True. Good oh, he broke it.
That was a high fend off.
Good tackle, Mansell. Great vision. Oh, he got his way. The vision from Brown there was quite excellent to pull that kick, and they just got in each other's way and spilled it.
Bauer came through.
Yeah, look, I think don't argue. It's a good point. Like, you got to try and find some silver lining, some positives somewhere. That the scoring shots 18 to 23. Like I said, we convert half of those scoring shots, and it starts to look a bit more respectable. And yeah, if Collingwood start to miss a few more of theirs, it comes back. It comes back again. But there's still obviously a lot of work to be done before we get to round one. But look, the ball movement's definitely been better tonight when we've had possession than it was against West Coast. Collingwood are a very good team as well, let's not forget. Probably going to be eyeing off a top 6, top 4 spot on the back of their poor year last year. So they're definitely no mugs, that's for sure. And they're playing at about 95% strength too.
That's a bad call, Andrew. Camden's probably been our best player tonight.
He definitely has been. Mance was a gun hand off Tassie. Yeah, Tassie will come knocking for a lot of clubs players, won't they? Good spoil there from Luke Trainer. Geez, Hill nearly did incredibly well to keep that in. Seven minutes 33 to go. Oh. Oh my God.
Great pressure.
Not sure how they didn't get a goal there, to be honest. That was. Oh, I reckon we're set up to go long at the kick out again here. He could have run about another 5 meters then.
Straight down the middle. When was the last time we did that? Oh,
How could the umpire have possibly seen from there if he handballed it or not?
they pay that one, but where has that been against Collingwood all night?
To me, calls like that are just a guess.
Yeah, you
The
can't
back's
see.
turned, you couldn't possibly tell. Our pleasure, Paul. I mean, look, unfortunately, hasn't been a lot more positive reactions with the scoreline, but hopefully, we've given you something to smile about at some stage or to process and stew on for the next couple of weeks until we hit round one. I don't know, like for those still in chat, I mean, obviously, it's not been an ideal game, but in terms from a conceptual point of view, does everyone enjoy us doing these type of lives? Is it easy enough? Oh, if we just kicked it straight to them. Ben Miller, fuck me, honestly.
I thought we wouldn't see those if Bolter wasn't playing.
That's ugly.
Or Young.
That's a horrible kick. But yeah, are people keen for us to do more of these things? Is it easy enough to follow on with what we're saying versus what you're seeing on the game? Like I know it's really, really difficult to line everything up perfectly because of all the different platforms everyone watches on. But yeah, if the feedback's good and people, I know typically people do enjoy it, that yeah, we'll still do some whenever we can for sure. That is a horrible, horrible turnover for Miller. Again, when you're trying to submit yourself for a spot in round one, Grok, that's not the ideal time to be doing that.
Yeah,
How has he missed the kick though? I mean, Hill's read it a little bit, but geez, it wasn't even close.
That's just that's disgusting. And with how well Cozzy played last week, given the circumstances, that's almost like a Samson Ryan dropped next week sort of thing. Because based on his game tonight, I'd much rather play Miller. Much rather Cozzy come in over Miller than what Miller's shown tonight.
Yeah, I think so. Dow with some pace.
Dow.
Oh, McAuliffe. Oh, I might get done there. Oh, that's ugly. Oh, the fumbles. The fumbles are killing us, amongst many other things. Oh, just need a leading forward.
Yeah, like if you know there's a free man there, why would you not pressure it?
Good. So people are enjoying the live stuff. Do away games to avoid calls like last week. I know they can only put out the commentators they've got available for those unofficial practice games, but that was horrible, wasn't it? Cozzy was great last week. Miller's not the answer moving forward. Trainer 2 great efforts. Well, a few people calling Trainer a lock for round one. What are we thinking, everybody? Would you put him in there? Oh, nice little sidestep by Ross. Good vision. Lovely. We back him up in here, Grok.
He's usually reliable, so I say that and we'll watch him put it 15 rows back out on the floor.
28 disposals, 12 contested possessions. Oh, has he squeezed it? Yeah, he's got it in. Very good.
Yeah, I believe your score.
Oh, I've missed a digit. I've missed 2 digits. That's meant to be 13.
And they're 130, the Pies. 131, yeah, sorry. Yeah, 21-5.
21-5. Oh, fuck, what have I done there?
Yeah, probably 0-4 based on that.
Trainer lock for round 1. God, Hopper has a sneak.
I'd play him, especially if
Trainer
Charlie.
you're talking about?
Yeah, if Charlie doesn't get up, why not play Trainer? Ooh,
It looks pretty comfortable. It looks comfortable out there, doesn't he?
And there's actually some quickness out of that midfield.
It's a good call, Declan. If we aren't as bad, it does look a lot better. Saints will morph into the Globetrotters in round 3. Watch it happen, Jones Racing. Watch it happen. Don't argue. I reckon they would not rest up. I think they'll do normal training. I don't reckon they'll do match sim. Could be wrong. How's that for a kick from Trainer? I'm sold. I'm sold, folks, to get Trainer in for round 1. I know the heat's out of the game, of course, but he's just showing a bit of composure, and he's a wonderful kick of the footy.
So, Paul, probably once or twice a year we'll do a live call of interstate games where we can't get to.
But yeah, we'll just have a look at the fixture, and if a couple of us are home and we can't make it to games, then we might try and jump on and do a few more. If people are enjoying it, Trainer again. If people are enjoying it, we'll try and keep doing it. Trainer's got composure. A lot of people seeing some love for Trainer. McAuliffe's been good. Are we the Washington Generals right now? Oh, come on. Fuck, how is he marking that? No, Benjamin, I reckon you're off the mark here, my friend. K-Mac's been one of our best, and playing in the midfield, if you get the mix right, it works fine. I think Jose's got the balance wrong with the whole 3 that are in there, but I don't think anyone could legitimately knock him to McIntosh tonight at all. He will be 1,000% playing round 1 and has been one of our best tonight. Oh, that's a stiff holding the ball.
That's the one thing with Hopper. He slips. He's been very unsure with his footing tonight. Slipped over a lot. Yeah,
it's almost like, would you call it indecisiveness, I guess, with what's ahead? I don't know. I agree, Dave. Trainer does not look out of place. Hef's at the game and not great, but listening to us. Chat is helping you relax. So that's good to hear, Hef.
Go Banks.
Good to hear. I mean, look, I'd say hopefully the game's been good, but hopefully it's a good trip home for you as well, Hef. But I appreciate you tuning in from the game. Death Rider, the priority pick. God, it's early, but it feels almost thereabouts, doesn't it, Danny, when you're watching that? I know, Scott. I agree. I would have loved to have seen K-Mac, Smiley as well. Apparently, he was really close to being able to play, but I guess with these youngsters, if they're 50-50, they're not going to risk it. It'll just be interesting to see if he's still a chance for round 1 or not. It kind of feels like now, Grok, do you reckon that we'll see Smiley through the VFL first before playing AFL on the basis of him not playing West Coast or Collingwood?
Yeah, probably. Although, if he was close tonight, given that it's a sellout round 1, Do they pull the trigger?
Yeah, see, now my mate Chris Herbert has had a theory on this as well, that given our severe lack of primetime games, which is completely understandable and okay, do we pull the trigger on some of these newer guys in these big moment games to say, hey, this is what it's all about? Once we, you help us rise back up or whatever, this is what it's going to be like on a weekly basis. Give them that primetime exposure.
100%.
Oh, Force, you got to grab that, my friend. You got to grab it. And I think there's a bit of merit in playing him for those type of games too. It'd be interesting.
Lawler, bring in Smiley, Armstrong, maybe Alger as sub.
Yeah, I like Alger. I think he'll be a reasonable chance to play early as well. Yeah, it's a bit of a double-edged sword, isn't it, Rationale? Because obviously we all want the young kids to play, and they're all going to undoubtedly get their chances during the year. Unfortunately, with that will come the fact that they're probably going to tire out, and we might see a bit more lesser output of them later in the year, potentially. Maybe the fitness staff work their magic and they play the whole year and they get a good run at it. But I think historically speaking that, we might see some good signs really early and then we might see some tail off. But this is where you need to look towards the experienced players to really stand up and help steer the ship a bit, which maybe feels like we've missed a little bit of tonight. Trainer involved again. Well, it's just been turned over. Quicker, yeah. It's all about getting games. I think, what do they say, Grok? It's like that 50, 60 game mark is what you want to try and get the players to as quickly as possible.
Yeah, 100%.
To sort of see where everything is at. So, they gave the point at the end. There you go. So Collingwood end up on 132 to Richmond 49. So not the greatest of outcomes from a scoreboard perspective. But I missed the button. There we go. Were there any what positives do people take out of tonight, Grok? I know we're probably all silver lining and clutching at straws given the scoreline. The scoreline doesn't worry me so much because it's pre-season, although not great signs. I think there's a lot more better signs this week than last week, and I think it's fair to acknowledge that Collingwood are a very good side as well.
Yep. There was a lot more defensive pressure for longer periods. Obviously, we were outclassed in the midfield speed-wise, but for us to be able to hold Collingwood for 15-ish minutes each quarter is a massive win compared to West Coast last week, who just had their way all game. Scoring shots. Obviously, Collingwood was so much cleaner tonight than we were, so much more polished, and they only had 7 more scoring shots. Is, again, massive. We weren't all that great getting the ball forward, hitting up our forwards, and still managed 19 scoring shots, which is insane for what we've done. Some of the younger players showed some fight. Obviously, Trainer looked really, really good. McAuliffe was solid when he came on. And then you've got the youngsters, Fawcett, Armstrong and Sims all competed really well. Obviously didn't take many marks or hit the scoreboard, but just the way that they competed when the ball was there to be won was massive as well. So, and there was some signs of the game plan. Obviously, the switch kicks in the first half, which I don't understand why we went away from in the second half. Those 45s that were doing the damage and breaking it open in the first half for us, it was non-existent in the second half. But yeah, there's at least some semblance now if you know what we're trying to do. We're moving the ball a lot quicker this year than we did last year, which is also another positive.
Yeah, potentially the game plan changed. It kind of almost felt and looked like they went into their shell a little bit after the score got blown out and they maybe just shut up. I don't know. That's kind of the feeling that I got from it. But the first quarter and a half, there was definitely some really good ball movement patterns. And even later in the game, there was still some good overlap run, some good 450 entries and things like that. For me, yeah, similar to you, looking at the youngsters, I think Harry Armstrong, to Scott's point here, with 4 tackles, competed really hard. I think he's definitely put his hand up to play round one. Trying to work out what that forward big three is going to look like is a real struggle to find the right balance. So you obviously got Tom Lynch. We think that Jacob Bauer is going to be the second forward. He kicked 2 goals tonight and was flying for marks early. And then it comes down to that third forward. Is it a Campbell Gray? Is it Harry Armstrong? Is it Fawcett? I think Armstrong showed enough tonight to make a substantial claim to play round one. Flies for the ball, crashes packs. He was doing some ruck work. I didn't mind what I saw from him.
Absolutely. Tony, no, Gibkiss will not be playing until at least after the bye, and that includes VFL.
Yeah, which is a bit disappointing. Someone raised a good point. Do we reckon Smiley's a sneaky chance for some game time tomorrow in the VFL game?
Potentially.
That's interesting. It's a good point, Dan. For those who are able to do so, I think the club is streaming the VFL game on their website. So if you are near a device or your PC or whatever, you'll be able to watch that. So we'll keep an eye out for that for sure. Luke Traynor, like the look of, he only played a half, but I want to see how many possessions he had, because he would have almost cleared 10, I reckon. Luke Traynor, 12 disposals. There you go, 12 disposals in a quarter and a bit. At 92% efficiency, 3 contested possessions, and 4 intercept possessions. I mean, if you're talking about putting your best foot forward to getting a gig round one, he has definitely done so. He'll be thereabouts. He'll be thereabouts. It's just whose place does he take would be the only thing, because there's obviously the benefit of tonight having a 8-man interchange that we can chop and change, unlimited rotations, things like that. But yeah, if push comes to shove, who would train whose spot would he take? I don't know, but he's definitely done himself some serious favours. Blight looked okay. He had a couple of iffy moments, Michael, where he kind of didn't go for the contest when he should have, and he had a bit of a shoulder knock as well. Maybe it was a re-aggravation of that stinger he copped at training potentially a few weeks ago, but he was back out there, so he must have been cleared to play and to go back on in some way, shape or form. There we go. So Smiley was not listed in the VFL squad. Damn, that's a shame. That is a shame. Would have liked to have seen him. Shaw could go to the flank or the wing, possibly. Yeah, he could do. But yeah, a few selection dilemmas ahead, no doubt. But all right, well, that is a wrap for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Much appreciated. I know these ones can be kind of difficult when the result goes that way, but being a practice match, it's all about seeing progression on the week before, which I think we saw in some space. We saw some of the young kids do some nice things. And now we obviously have the week off with opening rounds, and we roll on to round one up against Carlton. So, Grok, thank you, mate, for jumping on. Appreciate your time. Very, very much, and your thoughts.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
And as always, guys, make sure if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. If you're on Facebook and Twitter, give us a follow on there as well. It's always good to engage with you all. And I appreciate all the feedback as well about enjoying it. And trust me, if we do get the chance to do more of these, we will. It's good fun, and hopefully we can have a bit more fun with it along the way. So have a great night, everybody, and we will see you on Monday night for our weekly live show. I think Tiggs will be on. I think the whole cast could be available potentially, so it could be a full show. We might have a past player interview coming up with his son as well. I think I'll drop this one. I think we'll be having Nick and Archie Daffy come onto the show for a chat as well. Archie is a father-son prospect for 2026 or 27. He's playing for the Geelong Falcons currently as an underage. He made the 18 squad, so he's doing some really good things. So, we are looking to get Nick Daffy and Archie Daffy on for a chat in the coming weeks, which would be good. So have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you all very, very shortly. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.